Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to have you. We are rocking and rolling. Hopefully, you're having a killer day. I know I sure am. Thus far, at least. Thus far. I am glad to have you guys here. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good day. I have a good number of things we got to talk about. Also, a couple of fun things to try. There is a new game that's coming out called Manor Lords, which is everything I love in a game. It's like a sim game mixed with medieval stuff. It's gonna be fun. So they just released a demo like last night. I think it went public this morning, so we're gonna try it. It's not gonna be very long, but we'll try that later. And then, of course, they also just did the big official release of Grounded, which is that Obsidian game that we all tried in like pre-testing a while back, but didn't really. I haven't touched it in a while, just because it was in production. But now apparently it's officially done and it's good to go. My hair is shaggy, indeed it is. I gotta go in and get a shearing. I need to do it, so I will get to it eventually. Let's see. I'm just gonna adjust my headphones because it's a little loud for me. There we go. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this. I do expect a good number of fresh faces over here today. So everybody that's been over here, make sure to, offer a friendly hello and greetings to the new peeps. There will probably be a good number. It's going to be good. Also, I may randomly in the first like 5 to 10 minutes of this stream, I may have to bow out real quick because I'm watching the Ring doorbell, because I have a guy here who's blowing out the sprinkler system and he may or may not need me to let him into the garage to do something. I don't totally understand the whole process, which is why I'm a YouTuber and not in landscaping or anything. So he's out doing that, but randomly I might be like, oh crap, I gotta go. He rang the doorbell. So if that's what it is, I will play. I already have it like pulled up. I will play Diddle 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 All Day from Red Dead, and we'll do that. We'll do that. Oh yeah, I do have an update on the stolen PS5. I do have an update. Let me pull up my little show sheet, which basically just outlines everything we're going to discuss today. Let me just add this in here. Stolen PS5 update. Okay. So, for those of you who missed it, I posted a video here on the Clips channel probably a week ago. I don't know. It's a whole blur. But about a week ago, I posted the video. We talked about it on stream where I had a PS5 that was supposed to come, and it was supposed to be delivered, I think, like what was it? I think it was early to mid September. I think it was like September 12th or something. And I eagerly awaited the package. I was out and about. It said it was delivered. I'm like, okay, that's weird because I didn't get a Ring doorbell notification. That's odd. And then I looked at it and it said signed for. I was like, well, I definitely didn't sign for it. I look at it. It's signed by some guy like with a last name. I think it was Sanchez or Suarez, or it was something like that. It's like, that's not me. That's definitely not me. And then I look closer and it says it was delivered in a town about 30 minutes away. The whole thing is bizarre. Like, I don't know how that even begins to happen. So I went through the process. I filed the UPS like missing package complaint. They did their investigation process, had people drive out to my house, get my signature and like sign deposition saying I don't actually have it inside. It was crazy. And then they gave me a reference number. I contacted PlayStation support, which was extremely difficult to do. Eventually I got a hold of them, gave them everything. Then they did a hardware lock on that PS5, so whoever stole it can't use it now, which is delightful. And they did like an internal review and process, and apparently I got a call randomly a few days ago, and it was from somebody at PlayStation Corporate and they said it was a lady named Hunter, and she was very professional, very quick, and they didn't ask me any further questions. They just called and they were like, okay, so we see you got your PlayStation stolen and it never arrived. And I was like, that's correct. As far as I know, it was stolen. I don't have it. And she was like, okay, absolutely. Would you prefer to receive another one or a refund? I was like, oh, you're not like, you don't even need to ask me further questions. Oh, okay. Refund, like credit or whatever. Like, okay, done. Did you need help with anything else? Like, no? Okay, have a wonderful day. And then they just go and hung up, and that was it. And then sure enough, like 20 minutes later, the credit shows up. So they took care of it. It took a solid like 3 weeks. But you know, they handled it professionally. I'm sure by the time they called me, they knew what they were doing. Oh, he's coming to the door. Okay, I'll be right back.
Put my hand upon her toe, mark well what I do say. She says, young man, you're really low for the diddle all day. I put my finger on her knee, mark well what I do say. She says, young man, you're rather free for diddle all day. I put my arm around her waist, mark well what I do say. She says, young man, you're in great haste for the diddle all day. I put my hand upon her thigh, mark well what I do say. She says you're getting pretty nice, do diddle all day. She says let's lay down on the grass and diddle all day. She says let's lay down.
Okay, I'm back. Diddle all day. Oh, I timed that up perfectly. What are the odds? Okay. Anyway, all of that to say, we now have resolved the issue. It did just take like 3 weeks, and I feel so bad for people. Oh, I gotta get the pumpkin in frame. I feel so bad for the people that like, oh god. I found this at the pumpkin patch yesterday. Isn't it cool? It's massive. I feel bad for the people where that's like their first PlayStation 5 and they're so ready, they're so excited. They put all the money and then like some dick just steals it. But that's why you've got to go through those proper like legal processes, and PlayStation can remotely brick the hardware. And I'm sure, Jake, they can. And I'm sure what they can also do is they can track the IP address to figure out where you activated it from. So if somebody stole it, which I'm sure they probably did, if somebody stole it, because like, how does a 16-pound package, like big package, how does that go missing? I don't know. But whoever stole it, if they took it home and like activated it, and they were playing it at night, and they're like, oh, I got away with it. The cops haven't come. Nobody's calling me. I think I got away with it. They came home that one day when they hardware locked it. They tried to turn it on, and I'm sure it displayed a message that just said, this device has been reported stolen and is locked. He probably burned it in the fire pit right after, but I'm sure it's too late. Like, once they have it, they're done, you know? They're done. So, Corey, I hope they caught the UPS or FedEx guy who screwed that situation. Didn't you say there's like jail time or something like that? What I was told by the UPS guy that came to get my signature on everything, he said that if they, like, somebody within the company steals something, not only does the company file the charges for stolen product and theft, they don't take it lightly. I mean, they file the charges. You're gonna go to jail. And then they also will pursue whatever jail time, anything that they can manage. And of course you'll be fired. It'll be on your permanent record. And lastly, they will sue you. This is what he told me, at least. He said UPS will then sue the person effectively for like damaging the brand and saying like like screw you, you made us look bad. And so that person, like, it'll straight up ruin your life, because like UPS saying, oh yeah, no, you stole the package of a YouTuber who made some videos about it and started whining about it and made us look bad, so we're going to sue the ever living hell out of you for that bad press, and you're going to pay us like 2 million for it. And if you're working as a UPS driver, perhaps it's presumptive of me, but I doubt you have $2 million to pay out in a settlement. So like, you just ruined your life for something as stupid as stealing a PS5 that they're going to brick anyways. Like, so dumb. But again, they don't catch the smart ones. They catch the stupid ones. So that's my update. It has been resolved. We are good to go. But again, it tainted the whole experience of it, the magic of it for me. It was just kind of lame. Why did you get a refund instead of another one? Well, so for one, like, it was all kind of impulsive to begin with. And also this whole thing has kind of spoiled it for me also. Like, if they stole it once, like, I'm not sure if I trust it that much. Plus, I really, it like stresses me out beyond belief, the like process of having something expensive shipped to you and then you have to sign for it and you're trusting all these guys to handle it properly. And I've seen those videos of the guys that handle these packages. I know that some of them are wonderful. Like, our local FedEx delivery guy is amazing. He's perfect, like zero complaints. But I've seen videos of other delivery guys who are pretty rough with the packages. It's like when you imagine that your luggage at the airport, they're like, okay, yep, set it on there. Okay, it's set. And then you look out the window at the terminal and you see them just chucking your package or your suitcase 15 feet in the air into the plane, and you're like, oh well, I probably should have packed that a little more gently. Oops. You know, it's like, hey, not everybody is as gentle with your stuff as you'd like them to be. It is ridiculous that 2 years after release you can't walk in and buy one. I completely agree. It is stupido. But what are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. Okay, let's transition into this. Let's transition into this. Okay, referring to my tweet. I posted this tweet last night just in reaction to the news that, of course, is the titular topic for today. And then after this story, I'll catch up on chat, everybody, because I know there's people in chat who have sent me messages and stuff. I do want to get to all of those, so I will be reading through chat and catching up real quick after this. So don't think that your message is lost or anything. So for those of you who missed it somehow, because it's been everywhere, so Sony, according to now multiple outlets, a lot of outlets, have reportedly decided that they are going to create a, let me adjust this a little. They are going to be creating a remake of Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think surprised us all, because Horizon Zero Dawn is only like 5 years old. It's just like, okay, let's try to be fair here, because a lot of people are like, okay, you're complaining about this, but you would love a remake or remaster of like Bloodborne, so what's different here? You know, I can understand that. What I think the difference is, for one, Horizon Zero Dawn was already considered to be a really good looking game. Really, really good. Even now, it's probably one of the most graphically impressive games that's ever launched. So it's not like it's a bad looking game that needs to be brought up to modern standards. It looks really, really good. So that's one of the things that makes this just like, why? Some people, like, we had Jor Raptor on the channel relatively recently, and he was talking about how, of course, they did like lots of animation reworkings and improved facial animations and that type of thing. They did all of that with Horizon Forbidden West. So remaking Horizon Zero Dawn in the software of Forbidden West could be good. And I think that's, yeah, that would be good. Do I think that justifies $70? No. Are they going to charge $70 for it? Almost certainly. I would put a lot of money on that. I'd bet a good amount on that. And I think more broadly, it just reaffirms the general vibe and impression that we've had, such as with all of this, like I said in the tweet, remember when I said it seems like PlayStation has no creative power behind it under Jim Ryan? Example 24601. And then I point to this because it just, again, with all of this in business and media, everything, it is perception is more important than reality a lot of the time. It just is. We can, we can wish that it wasn't. I wish that just the facts mattered and stuff. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, all that really matters is what the perception is over the reality. And with this, the perception is that Sony doesn't care about what's like creatively consistent or creatively challenging or interesting. They only are interested in what generates the most revenue as fast as possible. So it's too convenient a story to ignore, really. And it's a bummer because Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game. Horizon Forbidden West, I think, is okay, but whatever. So it's a bummer that they are leaning into this so heavily. And I will say, like, let's try to play fair. Let's try to play fair and go through these. Because there are some shills in here. Copium. Yeah, exactly. There are some shills in here. That can see above. I can't understand it. Jada, it would be a remaster. I think the whole thing is that the fact that they're calling it's being reported by, at this point, I think it's up to 7 independent gaming journals, very credible ones. So it's like, at this point, it's just an open secret. It's not even really a rumor at this point, because sources have confirmed this internally to outside sources. So with that, it's being reported and leaked by people as a remake. That's what they're calling it. And the whole reason we're saying remake, remaster is because, like, PlayStation did this with The Last of Us Part 1, where they said that it was remaster or a remake, but it was actually more of a remaster, and that was the whole joke. But this is the same guy. I mean, I'm sure this guy is also going to be the one saying, well, actually, The Last of Us Part 1 is a total remake. So it's just, it's it's pleading at the end of the day, bouncing back and forth between justifications to try and argue for your team. It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. So maybe they do brand it and market it as a remaster. It depends on how much work they're actually doing. If it's a full-on remaster, great. Or a full-on remake, great. If it's a remaster and it's just some improved visuals and maybe it renders at 4K natively and stuff like that, then yeah, I would call that a remaster. And hopefully they learn from The Last of Us Part 1 and they don't market it as a remake if it's not actually a transformational remake. And they also charge less, but I don't think they're going to do either of those. 2, it's still just a rumor, not confirmed, like I said. I will agree. As of right now, as far as I've seen, like, PlayStation hasn't come out and confirmed, oh yes, this is the release date for it, this is what we're trying to do, because it's still probably a year or 2 out. Let's be realistic. It's not like this is coming out tomorrow. But with that, and I'll bring that up in a minute, because I think that does color some of this if we're playing devil's advocate. This I don't, but we get it. You're the one that can see above all else on this kind of thing. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. Can someone who cares about video games take Jim Ryan's place? Okay, that's funny. That is a bad take if ever I saw it. Are you saying like the doing the remake is the bad take, or that this is the bad take? This is why Twitter sucks, because people say stuff and you have no idea what they were even trying to say. Like, you're like, what? I don't get it. But they need to make it accessible for blind people and add bow haptics. That'll be $70, please. Yeah, that's about right. I think accessibility is great, but it is like, I think, pretty clearly kind of screwed up to charge people for accessibility. Like, I don't know, especially if you're going to try to play the virtuous card. Like, oh, yes, we want all gamers to come to the table of gaming and enjoy this together in oneness and unity. But we're going to charge those disabled people, full price for a game that's years old because they can finally play it. Like, it's just screwed up. Like, come on. It's just, chill out with that. I thought you were being moral. I thought you were trying to be inclusive and you're just trying to milk a new group of customers dry, It's just kind of screwy. Exhibit number what now? Somebody got it. Ascended got it. I was wondering if anybody would pick up on that. I mean, it's pretty transparent, but still. Get rid of Jim Ryan. Let's storm the barricade. Somebody else got it. That's funny. That's funny. Horizon Zero ideas. That's kind of funny. Okay, let's see this. This guy wrote out a lot. Magic Sloth. Jake Mabot, maybe. Well, this is simply untrue. We already know that there are several new IPs in development right now. However, I mean, I would agree. They're surely working on new IPs. I don't think that's in question. I think this, to be more specific, I guess, with my post, I think it's just that it reaffirms the perception that Sony is currently, creatively bankrupt. They're only interested in what generates the short-term profits. However, I will say that Sony PlayStation seemed more innovative during House and Layton eras, but I don't know if the discrepancy has anything to do with Ryan. Wolverine is coming. Bend announced they're working on a new IP. Sony Santa Monica has a secret sci-fi IP. Rumor is that Blue Point has their own IP. London Studio definitely has one in the works. House Marquee's next title is underway. Won't be Returnal 2. Okay. Like, you can be generating new stuff while also milking previous games dry. And, I don't see how these are mutually exclusive. Yeah, they're working on some new IP that we haven't seen. We've seen what was it, 3-second clip of Wolverine, I think we saw, and that's kind of it. Don't hear you calling out Nintendo for the same thing. Well, I do. I officially call out Nintendo for the same thing. There, we've done it. I officially, Nintendo also sucks. I talk about how much I hate Nintendo all the time. Yeah, they're super sucky as a big corporation. I agree. Oh no, you got me. We agree. Damn it. Caught in a trap. This guy's a savant. Okay, this is actually hilarious. This is actually really, really funny. For the payers. I'm sorry. That's just funny. I'm sorry. That's okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Touche. Well played. Well played, sir. Oh, so okay. Playing devil's advocate. Ultrax TV. Let's play devil's advocate because we want to be as fair as we possibly can. Okay, I don't want to be like, oh no, you're just trying to be like. People, it's funny. People have been calling me an Expot recently because I bash Sony for the crap they're doing. I'm in general, I think I probably enjoy PlayStation games more than the Xbox exclusives of the last 10 years. But that should show you how frustrated I am with PlayStation. It's not that, oh no, he likes PlayStation stuff, therefore now he's a sellout. I don't know. It's an Uncle Tom, I guess. But let's play devil's advocate. This, by most accounts that I've seen, it's kind of conflicting. Some people say this is a year out. Some people say it's 2 years out. Some people it's just who knows when it's coming out. Either way, if it's let's say 2 years. Let's say that's how far out we are. 2 years will mean that is 7 years from when the previous game launched. Okay, when it actually comes out, if they're actually that far out. I'm sorry, I've got Discord popping off. Let me. Oh, I see. Sorry. It's one of my lovely sponsors. We're working on stuff together. And they're messaging me. But okay. let's play devil's advocate. If all of that is true, let's say it's 6, let's push it, say it's 2 years out, and say it's 7 years from the release of Forbidden West that we get the remake, remaster, whatever. Right now in 2022, most people are saying we would love to see a Bloodborne remake. I think I would love to see that. I think most people would love to see that. That would be, if it released this winter out of nowhere, that would be a 7-year time period. And that feels about right. 2015 to 2022. And you look at Bloodborne, you see the technical limitations of the time, and you could see what it could be like if you look at like Blue Point's games recently. You see what that could be like if they remade it today. It makes sense why that would be done. And that would probably take a year or two to make. If it's a remake, certainly 2 years at least. So just because we're hearing about this now doesn't mean that in 2 years when it launches, it will seem as ridiculous. Granted, right now, it feels more silly because I think especially Forbidden West feels very relevant and feels very present and current. It doesn't feel like it was that old. Whereas Bloodborne feels like it's another chunk further back. So I think that's part of it. The other piece of it is like they've already improved support with Horizon Zero Dawn. They've brought it to PC. So if you want to play it on high resolutions, higher frame rates, you can do that. If you want to play it on PS5, it has like 60 FPS. You can play it there with improved resolutions. So like the need for a remake or a remaster is just not anywhere near as high or as strong as it is with like Bloodborne, because Bloodborne still runs at like what 900p at 30 frames and it usually dips to 25. Like Bloodborne still kind of runs like ass and it needs a remake. Horizon, I don't think anybody is thinking this really needs a remake. No way. Is it actually 720p? No freaking way. Jesus. It's so all of this say, like, even if we're playing devil's advocate, I think if we wait 2 more years and we get a remaster of, or a remake, as the leakers are saying, of Zero Dawn before we get anything with a new Bloodborne, I think gamers have permission to be very upset, because it just shows a total disconnect, not only from the community more broadly, but also from it screams disconnection. Like it screams Jim Ryan thinks that Zero Dawn is the pinnacle of PlayStation gaming, and it's like, I mean, I think a lot of people bought it because it's a pretty game that showcases power and quality in the console gaming space, but like very few people I've ever heard say that Horizon Zero Dawn is like truly amazing, or, you know, Forbidden West. And sure, I had a hot take with Horizon Forbidden West. I said I thought it was lame and extremely overrated. And I stand by that. I'll argue that all day long. Yo, come at me, bro. Come at me. Just saying, oh, L take, bro. Explain why. Argue your point. Defend Forbidden West. We'll debate it all day long, man. I am down. I am down. I have no problem with that. But I don't do, I don't engage with people who just throw out the bland, like whoever was in stream on Friday when we had that Nadia simp show up, and it was delightful. It was wonderful. Like, we can talk, we'll debate stuff. I'm all in for that. But I don't put up with this weird, like, assert this thing and then walk it back 15 times. And then just, oh no, I lost connection. Because that's what happened with the Nadia simp. The Nadia simp guy came in. What was his name? Cole? I think it was Cole. If Cole is in here, or another Cole, I'm sorry. But the Nadia simp came in and immediately said, Nadia isn't cheating. She hasn't done anything untoward. You guys are just jealous because she's a better gamer and better streamer than you, blah, blah, blah. Said all this stuff. Over the course of like 3 minutes, we explained how, without a doubt, she's using VPNs. She was caught in the same lobby as a guy demonstrating in a tutorial how to use VPNs to get into a bot lobby, to have higher KDs and to look better on stream. She killed the guy that was filming a tutorial on how to do that. She's playing in Miami. Why is she in a Brazilian server? There's no explanation other than she's in a VPN. Don't worry. I think the stream clip actually went up recently, Albatrax. If you look on this channel, you've got that. But it was like, okay, so in the span of 3 minutes, we've adjusted it. And now we're at a new spot where he then said, well, yeah, so I just don't think VPNs are that big of a deal, though. Like, okay, but 3 minutes ago, you said that she wasn't doing any of that. And now you've stepped it back and you've stepped it back. Same with like Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. Like, I'll try to say what I think clearly and I'll try to argue the point. But if you come in and you say, no, it's actually amazing, then like I expect you to be able to defend that. Or like we had another guy that like, it was over on Twitch. Do you guys remember the guy that came in and was like, I think he was one of the guys that really loathed The Last of Us Part 2. And I think there's many reasons to hate The Last of Us Part 2. Do not get me wrong. I think you are perfectly justified, or you can be perfectly justified in hating The Last of Us Part 2. But this guy just came in and said like, oh, it's a horrible woke piece of garbage. And he didn't know he really didn't know anything about the game. It was clear he hadn't played it. And when we asked him more questions to follow up on it, eventually he just kind of gave up and was like, I don't know. I watched somebody play it years ago. I don't really remember. I just remember how I felt about it. I'm like, okay. What are we doing? Come on. I mean, what are we doing? You know? So all I ask is that if people want to like talk about this, I'm down to talk about it, but I don't respond well to the Twitter trend of just saying shit and then expecting that to be enough and for me to just take your word for it. Like I don't do that. I don't do that. Oh, this is oh, dude, do you guys remember this? I had a picture up here from a guy, this Dave Keyart. He did an amazing hand-drawn picture of me holding Lachlan. And it says that his account no longer exists. Well, I hope everything's okay, Dave. Jeez. That picture was awesome. Bummer. Hope he's good. So let's see. Ludwig released a video recently about Naughty allegation, and he disagrees and doesn't think Naughty is cheating, which I thought was interesting because he somehow missed the 0.27 KD on land. I don't know, the whole thing. I'm just ready to stop talking about it. I know I just talked about it for an extended period of time, but I'm ready to stop talking about it because she's just writing that to the bank. You know, she's not exactly struggling for revenue right now because of it. I mean, she's very well off. She's just printing money. You said look at the video at 733.
Game based off of this 30 FPS frame limit. And the developers knew that, which is why they based all of the game's development on 30 FPS. Everything.
I don't understand. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I guess I missed it. Let's see. Oh, are you? All right. Okay. I don't know. I missed something. Okay. Let's see. Banana Brains. I'm never able to tune in live streams due to the schedules not lining up, but I can't sleep, so happy little accident. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to make it in here. It's good to see you. I can also, when I do this, add mod there. It's good to see you. I think what we're going to do, especially as we get more comfy on like streaming on YouTube, I think we're going to try to do more and more, like varied time slots. Cause right now we're basically always doing the 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. thing. And I think we're going to start throwing in the occasional like 2 to 6 p.m. and 2 to 8 p.m. And we'll start trying to spread it out. Let's see. Streams are saved, Jongin. They will be if you just go to the Luke Stevens live channel and you just look like the second row. It's all full streams, so they'll be backed up here from now Manor Lords is downloaded. Let's try this out. Yeah, Christina, I'm excited. We'll try it. I consider every remaster of a non older than 10-year-old game a cash grab. Yeah, Defects, it's tricky because like some games I think it's just, but I think it's, you know, they're each kind of individual instances. Sometimes it's more justified than others. Sometimes it feels like the game needs a remaster more than, you know, other contemporaries, because some games are more ahead of their time than others. And I think that's kind of the big point with this. We would be totally in for a Bloodborne remaster now, but like, what's another 2015 game? Fallout 4? Like, a remaster of Fallout 4, would I be like upset about it? Not necessarily. But would I probably play it? I would guess probably not. But it's mostly like, it's not because I have anything against Fallout 4. It's just because I don't feel the urge or the need to play that game again, like, or at least in a remastered context. Whereas Bloodborne, like, that game needs a remaster because it was so rough when we got it. You know, it's the same thing with like LA Noire that we just did the video on. LA Noire, I think, has a lot of weaknesses and difficulties. And a remake, I don't think you could remaster it. I think you'd have to remake it, and I think it could really benefit from a remake. Or like, you know, Mafia Definitive Edition, the original versus the remake, night and day. Night and day. I got a matte screen protector, matte finish screen protector for my phone, and I actually am like all in for it. It's actually really nice to have. I didn't realize how much glare my phone had until I got it. I'm now like, oh Jesus, how did I live without it? I think we're ready for a GTA 5 remake. I think they're just gonna call that GTA 6. I think it's gonna be GTA 5/6, but it's gonna have a lot more Red Dead influence. That's my expectation, at least. Let's talk real quick about some of these other news stories, and then we will get into trying these games. New trailer for Callisto Protocol. I think I saw a thumbnail of it, but I don't think I watched it, Corey. Let me pull that up. We will add that to the list right after we talk about this Tencent news. Callisto Protocol. Protocol is such a weird word. Can we just all agree on that? Callisto Protocol. Ah, yes, a protocol. The almighty protocol. Is it from 3 days ago? Does that sound right? I think that's probably right. I think 2 minutes long. Okay, we'll do that. So, accept all cookies. I might regret doing that. Here we go. Let's talk about Tencent again. Things are weird in the world today. Tencent is aggressively seeking majority stakes in more gaming companies. A new strategy will focus on buying majority stakes mainly in overseas gaming companies. And for the record, this is mostly because they are like the Chinese government. I don't totally understand it, but the Chinese government has limitations on the number of new IP that Chinese gaming companies can generate because they have to get like special licensing, and they only hand out a certain number of licenses per year. It's my understanding of it. But basically it just means if Tencent wants to increase its growth, they need to either just like double down in the games they have and just monetize the ever living crap out of them, and or they need to go and get outside studios working for them that aren't limited by those Chinese restrictions. It seems like they're just doing both. So Tencent's one of those companies that apparently just has more money than they know what to do with. So they're just trying to figure out what to do with it. They can't really pour it into local within like China studios because they're limited by those licenses. So instead they're going out and they're trying to buy stakes in a ton of different companies. So according to Reuters, Tencent traditionally acquired minority stakes and was content with being a passive financial investor, but it is now aggressively seeking to own a majority or even controlling stakes in overseas targets, chiefly in the core gaming sector. Metaverse assets are also reportedly of interest to Tencent. Citing 4 people with direct knowledge of the matter, Reuters adds that the shift in Tencent's M&A strategy, which is mergers and acquisitions for the record, comes as the world's #1 gaming firm by revenue is counting on global markets for its future growth, which requires a strong portfolio of chart-topping games and follows regulatory issues in its home country. In response, Tencent said that it shifted its mergers and maybe that's a typo, I don't know, long before new regulations in China, and looks for innovative companies with talented management teams. Recently, of course, they threw $300 million into the Guillemot Brothers Trust, which is the company that the Guillemot brothers use to own their stake in Ubisoft. It's just like a whole thing. So it's just another example of Tencent coming along and trying to buy into a large, a large stake in a big company. You know, it's weird. Blue Raven came here from the LA Noir video, waiting for the fake happy reaction. Yay, Blue Raven made it. Either way, I'm glad you're here, Blue Raven. I appreciate you. That's funny. See, the chat randomly disappears. I don't know why it does that. It's so stupid. Anyway, so I think people in the West forget just how freakishly powerful Tencent is as a mover in the industry. We think of Xbox, we think of PlayStation, and like right now, especially in the context of like this Activision acquisition, everybody's talking about how Microsoft is trying to like get an unfair stake in the industry. You can't forget about Tencent because they literally just print money. They just have endless rolls of money. It's ridiculous how much cash they have, which is why they're just going around throwing it at people. Like they just don't know what to do with it. They're like, I'll just invest. I talked about this before. We had a client when I worked in commercial real estate. Very, very sweet guy. Like literally, I dealt with so many rich people who were just evil and conniving and just nasty people. And they judged you for not having as much money as them. And they looked down on you for it. Chris, which is his code name for the record, he had like he was the sweetest guy, so nice, so loving. Like he was just the most delightful human being I've ever worked with in that company as like in a business relationship. He was just delightful. And he had more money than he literally knew what to do with. He would say, like, he would call the firm and say, you need to find me something that I can put 500 grand into because I just got a check this month and I need to spend it somehow. Like, he just didn't know how to spend the money. He was getting like, I think he was making something, I don't know actually how much he was making, but if I had to guess from what I heard about, he probably was making between like $7 and $15 million a year. And it was all like in cash. So he had to figure out where to put it. And he would just call and be like, I got $500,000. Find me something to buy. For that, like for the record, with 500 grand, if that's like a 20% stake, you're buying like a $2.5 million apartment building because that's 20% for the down payment. So like he was just casually over like, oh, I got a check this Thursday. I guess I got to go buy a $2.5 million apartment building. It's just a different world, really, is what it was. He was like a nice, very kind and sweet version of Tencent. Tencent, though, is just a scary Giga Corporation, and you just never really know what they're up to. So, you know, previous when they were saying like, oh, previously they just wanted to be a passive financial investor, that's fine. We don't have a problem. But now that they're looking to like aggressively take a majority stake, now I'm worried. Because they have the money to do it, where they can just walk in and scoop up some of these firms. Because love it or hate it, like some of these smaller studios, I mean, think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. If you were a small, like, indie developer, you made a relatively successful indie game, maybe everybody on the team, like a team of 10, 15 people, maybe you made each like a bonus of 30 grand and you got your bills paid, but like you survived development. You didn't like get rich. You didn't make a lot of money, but you know, you didn't, you survived. You survived it. And then Tencent comes knocking. And they're like, we are willing to offer you 10 million for your company. I think any reasonable indie dev would probably take that money, sell the company, and then they could leave if it's allowable in the agreement. They could leave and then use that 10 million to start something else. They could totally do that. Like, no issue. No issue. But they don't do it for some reason. Well, they can't do it because normally companies like Tencent don't exist to come in and just throw money at them. But now Tencent coming in and aggressively looking to acquire stakes in overseas companies, now they can manage it. And so this would be worrisome. When people talk about Microsoft having an unfair advantage or coming in and buying people up, yes, they're buying big companies, absolutely. Offering to buy Activision Blizzard for $95 a share in cash is ridiculous. So much money. Speaking of, everybody, like, if you want to just like almost certainly get easy returns, like what is it, 27% return on your money, just go buy a bunch of shares of Activision Blizzard. If the deal goes through, Microsoft will pay you $95 a share. Right now, it's trading at like 74. Like, you'll just make $21 a share for doing nothing. Like, the only question is whether or not you, like, they go through with the deal and whether or not it gets approved by these regulators. But I'm like, hey, if like, you know, Time Warner and Comcast and those guys could merge up, and then Sprint and T-Mobile could merge up, these guys will be okay. That Microsoft will manage it, especially because Microsoft can just demonstrate that they're not actually the industry leader. You know, if Tencent were a US company and they were trying to buy up Activision, I don't think it would go through. I wouldn't put money on that. But like, Microsoft is like number 3 or 4 in gaming revenue in the US alone. So it's just not, I think it's going through. So like, if you want easy money, not financial advice, but I'm just saying what I've done is, for easy money, I've gone and just bought up a bunch of shares of Activision Blizzard, because if the deal goes through, I'll make like $21 on every single share that I bought. It's like, it's hard to come up with an easier way of making like a 25% return on your money. Like, I'm just saying, but you can't sell it. You got to buy it and hold it until it goes through. Okay. None of this like, oh, I tried day trade. I traded it into crypto. Now I'm a crypto millionaire. Sure, I can't sell any of it because it's not liquid, but I technically, on paper, I'm a billionaire. BRB, putting my life savings into Activision Blizzard. Yeah, no, it's one of the, like, it was trading at like $66 a share before Microsoft came in. And most people agreed at that time it was probably worth like $85 a share, maybe even 90. Microsoft comes in, offers 95. So a big premium on what the stock was trading at the time. Immediately, the stock price jumps to around $75, $74 a share, which the only reason it's not, like, in a perfect world, in a vacuum, it should be 95, right? Because Microsoft's guaranteeing 95. The only reason it's not trading at 95 today is because that $21 difference is the worry and the risk of it possibly not going through. So, like, I think it's pretty likely. If you think it's likely that the deal goes through, then you should probably consider taking advantage of that opportunity. Let's just say that. Luke is actually my CPA. CFA, certified financial advisor. I actually thought about going and getting my CFA. But it's rigorous, man. It's like you the books, it's like a stack this big. You read through it, you got to do all the research, and then you got to go and take multiple tests. And the tests are all like 6 months apart. I think the minimum time it takes at least 2 years of consistent studying and work to get your CFA. And for me, like, I'm a YouTuber. Like, what would I do with it? I could do like consulting on the side for fun, I guess. That would be a thing. But put all your money on red. Dude, I can't even tell you, Court, how often I get triggered from people saying that they invested in crypto. I can't even do it. But I won't get into that because we got other stuff to talk about. Because you guys know I will spend an entire stream talking about random financial stuff if I let it happen. So I will stay quiet and we'll just get into this. Steph Coney, hi, came from the LA Noir video. Awesome. Appreciate you. Which camera am I on? Hi. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Why am I getting a message? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Gambling is just stocks, but one more step from a gazillion dollars. It's gambling is speculation and crypto is speculation. Crypto is gambling. QED. That's the term, right? Hey, I just came here from the LA Noir video. If I say I love you, I would be lying, but let's hang out. Well, I appreciate the honesty, my friend. I appreciate your candor. I think we should hang out. It's always so weird. Like, you watch all these YouTubers who are just like, oh, we should totally come over. You'll be my best friend. I love you guys so much. You guys are my bestest friends. And like, I love that energy. But like, do you really think that like Ninja cares about every 12-year-old in his chat? No. Like, Ninja doesn't. It's okay that he doesn't. Like, just don't pretend as though you have a super personal relationship with all of the 12-year-olds watching you play Fortnite, you know? Like, just let's not beat around the bush. But I guess it works because like even Mr. Beast has people like buying in high school, buying his merch and stuff. I actually seriously wonder, I'm like, would I be really into like Mr. Beast and those guys if I like were in high school again? Would I be one of those? Because like I'm sure I was into weird stuff when I was in high school and people were like, oh, that's such a young person thing to be into. But I can't like think of any. But like, I guess that's just what happens when you're older. You turn into a boomer and you're like, oh yes. Sorry, Luke. I'm not your friend. Also, I don't love you. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal. Don't you care about us? We do. Like, I think the distinction is like I do. Like I have a channel that's at the size like with this stream where I can read all the chat. I can keep up with you guys. I can build relationships with you guys. And I can see what's going on, and I can be like, oh yeah, you were going off. Like, we've got members of the channel and of the stream that are in here regularly. It's like some of them are going off to college for the first time. Some of them are going off and just interviewed for a new job. Other guys, went off and had to join the military and pop in every once in a while to say hi. And like, I can remember those, and I can see them when they pop back in chat, and we can catch up, and it's great. I can keep up with the people in this chat and that follow. I used to be able to do that for the YouTube channel as well. I would recognize all the, profile pictures of people who would comment. And I could pop in and be like, oh yeah, no, he commented again. Oh, it's good to see him again. Now it's at the size where I just can't keep up. The stream currently is at a size where I'm starting to struggle to keep up with it, but I'm really trying to keep up with chat and to get to know you guys. But it's, it's getting to be a little tricky sometimes. But we're getting there. And, so it shifts and change as time goes by. But for the time being, I'm very glad that here on stream we can keep up, and that's why I'm glad. You do a good job, Evan. I try. Yeah, and exactly. I mean, to be fair, big streamers can't keep up. Exactly, and that's why, like, I don't blame Tim the Tap Man or Ninja or you know, XQC. I do blame XQC for everything, but like, I don't I don't blame the big streamers for having a chat that's just like, and they can't keep up with it. Like, nobody could keep up with it. So like, let's not pretend as though they could. And a lot of big streamers, they do a good job of just being like, listen, I try, man, but like, I am limited. I'm a human being. What's XQC beef? I don't have a beef with XQC. I just find him baffling and hilarious and entertaining. I think I'm more with like Rakes or Rakesh. Is that? I'm trying to. It's the type's really small. I just like. I don't get it. I don't find him particularly entertaining, but clearly I'm in the minority. So I just like, I don't know. Did you ever get your PS5? They got stolen. Damon, it'll be a stream clip. We talked about that earlier today. So if you're subbed to this channel, we'll post that probably in the next couple days where I give the update fully. But yeah, basically they sent me a credit for it and they hardware bricked the PS5. So whoever did steal it can't use it. And then they also are investigating it and are probably going to get the guy arrested. I don't think I'd ever find out if, you know, that he was arrested or if they got the guy, unless like my UPS driver who's over here happened to come by and tell me, oh, they got the guy, you know, it was a big thing. They caught him and arrested him at work. And so maybe they would tell me, but I don't think I'll ever know fully what happened with it, but they did resolve it. So props to PlayStation. It just took like 3 weeks, but you know, the process does work if you follow the right steps. Okay, let's talk about Callisto Protocol. This is a new trailer that just dropped. Let's tackle this. I will say at the outset, my main concern is that in most of the gameplay stuff they've shown so far for this game, the frame rate is like, it's a little rough. I hope that they can balance that out. But the frame rate I've seen recently is a little stilted, I will say. Banana, have you seen the companies that Fandom recently bought? It's bizarre. I have not. If you could send me a link to like an article on that, we could look at that.
Did this? And why?
It's like someone's trying to cover up what's happening here. So what happened to the original colony?
Abandoned. Along with the rest of Callisto.
They didn't have a clue what was going on. Things are changing. They're evolving.
These aren't accidents. There's a pattern. Isn't about escape, Jacob. Not anymore.
What's it about?
Answers!
As you wish. Soon everything will become clear. The truth of Black Iron.
I think it looks good. The graphics look good. The gore looks good. But again, there are just little moments where they show a steady stream of gameplay and it just drops to like 24 FPS. Like it was when he was talking to the girl, like this, it starts to get a little stilted right there. Maybe it doesn't come through on stream very clearly, but it worries me. See, like that right there, that little stutter, that's not the stream, that's you. Or that's, excuse me, that's not the stream or you, that's the game. And that just worries me. That worries me. Because as I've said before, in these trailers and in these like press releases and stuff, they show the best that they have. They don't show the worst that they have. So if this is the best that they have, you know, I'm concerned, because if the best they have is like 24 FPS, then I'm concerned. Let's talk about these fandom acquisitions that Banana just posted in chat. Let's talk about this real quick. Okay. But yeah, as always, we will have to see. We'll have to see. So let's talk about fandom acquires leading entertainment and gaming brands, including GameSpot, TV Guide, and Metacritic. Fandom acquires leading entertainment gaming brands. Okay, deal increases fan reach and engagement while driving affiliate commerce and extending 360 opportunities for advertisers. Fandom will now rank as the number 14 ad-supported site in the U.S. San Fran, blah, blah, blah. The world's largest fan platform today announced it has acquired a portfolio of entertainment and gaming brands from Red Ventures, GameSpot, Metacritic, TV Guide, GameFAQs, Giant Bomb, Cord Cutters News, and Comic Vine by combining Fandom's 300 million monthly active users, 250,000 wiki communities, and 40 million pages of content, with these widely recognized gaming, movie, and TV brands reaching 46 million active users. Fandom extends its strategic mission to be the fans' first choice for community and experience. Financials of the deal were not disclosed. Jesus, dude. Red Ventures, home to diverse portfolio of industry-leading brands and business strategic partnerships, proprietary tech, including Bankrate, Lonely Planet, CNET, Points Guys, Best Colleges, and more. It is funny how so many of those websites are all just owned by like one or two companies. It is funny. Like I always wondered who owned a lot of those wikis. Like surely those things aren't free, but now they own Screen Junkies, GameFAQs, Giant Bomb, Metacritic, GameSpot. Like I go to GameSpot, Metacritic, and GameFAQs regularly. And now they're all under this one umbrella. And like what they say here with this rotational, like what do they call it, 360 advertising opportunities. I think probably what that means is like they allow you to buy ads for their platforms so that you don't have to go through Google, and it's probably cheaper. Or like if I were releasing a video game, I could go and buy space on Metacritic and GameSpot where I have banners on their website that don't rely on Google ads, you know? So there's probably stuff like that you can do. And I, you know, it's not a bad idea. I haven't heard of some of these, like Cord Cutters, Comic Vine, Screen Junkies. I don't think I've heard of. I don't really go to Giant Bomb, but I've heard of Giant Bomb. TV Guide. I've heard of that. I didn't realize that was still a thing. I thought that was like gone many a moon ago, but I guess it's still a thing. So I don't know. That's cool. It's a big move. I really wonder how much they spent on that, because that's not a cheap thing to do. But that is very interesting. That's interesting. It's a, you know, more consolidation. Companies right now are just trying to get rid of cash. You know, with inflation being super high, and then also with a lot of uncertainty in the near future, it's just, it makes more sense to spend your money now if you're a big corporation sitting on a ton of cash. Let's talk about let's see. Oh, we should probably talk about this. This I found really weird that this was like a dedicated. This was a dedicated news story and rumor, but God of War Ragnarok is around 40 hours in length. Insider Gaming has learned. It's understood that the entire experience is around 40 hours, with 20 hours needed to complete the main story, 20 hours of side content, the other additional side quests, which around 19 hours dedicated to gameplay, and an additional 1 hour of cinematics within the main story. Sources have said that 3.5 hours of the 20 hours played will be cinematic cutscenes, with the remaining 16.5 hours for gameplay. Okay. Cool. Like, that sounds like a lot. 3.5 hours of cutscenes over a 20-hour game. Is that actually a lot? How many? I wonder how long are the total cutscenes in like The Last of Us? Let's see. According to this, The Last of Us Part 1 is around an hour and a half of cutscenes with 15 to 17 hours of gameplay. But I guess it depends on how you define cutscene, because like God of War has these sequences which like mix in cutscene with combat, or like in God of War 2018, when you get tackled onto the back of the dragon and you're beating the crap out of Baldur, would they count that as a cutscene? Because they do require you to smash a couple buttons, and then it takes control back over after like 15 seconds. Like, are they really going through and cutting out that little portion? Do they just define it as sequences where you don't have to press any inputs and the game continues going? Yeah, Death Stranding. Oh, I wonder if somebody's actually done the math on that. Death Stranding. Usually you can look up like okay, so this Death Stranding has in total 7 hours of cutscenes. Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right. It's just like, oh my god. You were close, Rakesh Gupta. Yeah, you were very close. 7 hours is what they're saying on cbr.com. That's pretty insane. It's but like also the I would imagine the like anything Kojima has touched is probably super long. Let's see. This article says Death Stranding has one cutscene which is 31 minutes in length. Yeah, the game's climax takes around 2 hours to complete, aside from a few short sections where the player runs around a little. It's pretty much one long cutscene. The aforementioned sections do help break things up a bit, but just barely. The longest amount of time between player inputs is 31 minutes. Yeah, that the finale in Death Stranding, I would count it as a 2-hour cutscene. Because like there's a whole sequence where you're supposed to basically be in purgatory, and you're literally running around on an endless beach. You run to one end of the beach and it resets you back to the middle. You run, it resets you until the entire game credits have run very slowly across the screen. And then the next thing continues and plays out. And it sounds like they're counting that as gameplay. They're not counting that as part of the cutscene, but it's, I would count it as part of the cutscene. So I wonder if I can actually find, because Nikki doesn't respond well to that. Oh god, look at Shaved Luke. Shaved Luke. I was doing a musical at this time where I had to be shaved for the show, so I had to get rid of the beard for it, and I look like such a baby. I look like such a baby. We realized like Lachlan has never really seen me without the beard. So I think one of these days I'm gonna have to shave and see what he thinks. Yeah, this is the part. I fast forwarded it, and you see, like, you literally run around on a beach endlessly, and then you stand up, and then the cutscene plays out, and it just, this is me fast forward, she just rambles at you for like half an hour, and then you run around some more, it resets you, and then the cutscene plays out more, and it just continues and continues. It's like hilariously bad. I'm trying to find the one clip of Nikki. I don't remember where it was though. This is like, this video is probably one of the games I'm most proud of. Like, what is this? I don't remember this.
This is why most great direct style or in the have a style, but they remain flexible, either in the application of their style or in the content to which they apply their style.
What doesn't kill you make you stranger. Oh! Chucker.
To mindlessly apply
Jugger. Yeah, this is one of those videos I'm probably most proud of. Because I just remember how much freaking time I put into it. Oh, this is Nikki. This is it.
and my finishing one of her 10-minute.
Yeah, here.
Well, this was her reaction to Amelie finally finishing one of her 10-minute monologue diatribes.
10 minutes ago! Oh! Oh my god.
And a lot of things
She just hates it so much. It just never ends. Like, it just freaking never ends. Like the finale, you've already been such a good sport. You've played the game for so long. You're just, you feel like you've done your time, and then you get to that ending and it just never stops. It just keeps going. It's painful. Drives me crazy. Because, like, again, I enjoy some Death Stranding. On a rainy day, I just like it. I feel, I hop in there, I do some deliveries on my Steam Deck. I love it. But I can still acknowledge that it is pretty clearly got some major issues. And pretending as though it doesn't is just dumb to me. Like, clearly it has issues. They punish you for playing the game. Yeah, you get to the end of the game, they gotta sit through all that crap. Solid Python, good to see you. Good to see you. That had to be a Kojima troll. Where did I miss it? Let's see. Babies who have spent their entire lives with a bearded father who suddenly shaved don't react well. They tend to not immediately recognize you. So be kind of cautious. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, maybe it's a good idea if I do it occasionally, like it's a regular thing where I shave and then he just gets used to it. Because I don't know, like eventually I probably will just start shaving again. The main reason I kept the beard for the last few years was because when I worked in commercial real estate, I looked so young without it that people wouldn't really take me seriously. So my bosses were like, yeah, you should probably keep the beard. If it makes you look older, it'll help. So I just decided to keep it, but now I don't do that, so I don't have to. The other piece of it is now people on YouTube recognize me with the beard, but I don't think I think I'm a lot more flexible. I can get rid of it. I've just had it for so long now. I think I would actually kind of enjoy shaving it though. It gets annoying. Like it's just kind of I don't love having a beard. I just kind of had it out of necessity. Did it work though? Yeah, I mean, kind of. It definitely, like, I had to deal with a lot of comments of like, you just like, did you just come over from high school on your lunch break? Like, I thought I was meeting with a commercial real estate broker. You know, I had to deal with comments like that the one time I shaved. So I was like, okay, well, I will just leave that there. Personally, I feel naked without my beard. Yeah, I mean, I don't recognize my face initially when I do it. I'm like, oh, that's what I look like without the beard. Oh God. So like we're all kind of in the same boat. It definitely does happen. Well, he's live when he says in the video he's live. Mind bomb. What was it in Jimmy Neutron? It was brain blast. That's what it was. But when he goes back and then he sees the stupid version of himself, he yells out, brain bomb. Dude, I love Jimmy Neutron so much. Is Death Stranding worth playing? Never played a Kojima game before. It's definitely different than most Kojima games, for the record. I would say it just depends. Like, if you like those calm, relaxing kind of, I don't know how else to put it other than casual games, then you'll probably enjoy it. It's just, don't play it for the story, because the story is like endless. It's nonsensical. It's bizarre. You won't figure it out. Like, it's the major frustration I had with the like fanboys of Kojima, is that they would look at it. Ooh, yeah. Notifications worked. That's good. Is it gonna play it? Oh, it didn't. Oh, I think it has to be like over $5 for do text to speech. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Des, with a child now, do you see Joel differently? Weirdly, yeah. It does kind of change things. Once you have that context and it also makes that opening hurt so much more. Like you don't really want to entertain it. You don't really want to think about it because it's just so horrible. You don't want to ever consider like the possibility of losing your child. So, like, I think it does make me much more sympathetic to Joel and to everything. So I would say definitely. It's weird how it changes stuff, but it really does change your perspective on pretty much everything. It's bizarre, but like also awesome. So that's a good question, though. That's a very good question. Desi, thank you. So, but yeah, it was one of the things that drove me the most crazy with like Kojima fanboys, is that they would defend the story and argue that the story was actually really good. The story's actually really good. If you don't like it, you just don't get it. Or it's his style. You just don't understand his style. And I would say, like, that's why in the critique I did the whole Kojima syndrome thing. It's like Stockholm syndrome, but it's Kojima, where people start to excuse clearly bad things because they're so obsessed with being a fanboy that they just excuse things that are not in their best interest and that clearly make the game worse. And there's probably like an actual psychological term for it, like cognitive dissonance, sort of, you know, because I think if you pointed at a different game that did that thing, they would say, oh yeah, that game is bad for doing that thing. But you point at the Kojima game that doesn't, they say it's actually really good, you know. Death Stranding is what you get when you give Hideo Kojima several tabs of LSD, make him write a script, and nobody checks his work. That's, again, I think the biggest issue with Death Stranding. If he had a co-director who was literally just there to say, like, slap his hand and be like, stop it. No, we're not going to have a 30-minute cutscene. No, we're not going to spend 2 hours of the ending of the game with you, like, you walking on an endless beach and teleported back. I get it's supposed to be like purgatory. I get you're supposed to feel like you're in purgatory. I don't care. It's stupid. But that's the problem. Exactly, Corey. He owns the studio. His name's on the freaking door. It's Kojima Productions. He can do whatever the hell he wants. And that's part of the reason why I think any game that comes from him will be more of the same. Because he is a very creative person. But sometimes creative people need to be, like, they need the balancing out. They need the, like Apple. They needed the hippie and the geek, is what they would always say. Steve Jobs being the hippie and the geek being Steve Wozniak. They needed the hippie and the geek, the art and the business person. You need the two sides of the coin to balance it out. Otherwise, it just doesn't work very well. And with Kojima, it's just another example of that. Hideo, or Miyazaki, I think the reason his games work so well is because he really values, from the interviews I've seen, the feedback of his team. Like, he is probably as far from a narcissist as you could possibly get. He's extremely humble, and I think that's why it works so well. Kojima, I think, is pretty clearly a narcissist, and this is coming from a YouTuber, okay, for the record. Like, a YouTuber is saying this, so that should tell you just how crazy they must be, because obviously I'm a walking egomaniacal monster. Like, I'm crazy. I'm a YouTuber. So I think that's part of the major issue. Plus, he has a phenomenal studio that focuses on the story through gameplay and environment. Yeah, and they all kind of get it, and the team has worked together for many years. They get what kind of game they're trying to make. You just don't get it, or you are not intelligent enough to understand it, is the worst defense you can make for movies, TV shows, and games. It's one of the worst things you can do, period, for like any defense of anything. Like, if it's effectively just throwing in the towel, it's admitting that you don't have a reason or a means of defending your position. You're just knocking over the pieces and saying, you just don't get it. And it's true, like, people do it all the time, not just in this, but also politically, with religion. They do it with everything. Like, if you don't agree with me, you just don't get it. You know, you don't understand. On both sides of the aisle, let me be clear. It's like, you might look down on somebody for not having a college education, just be like, I guess you just can't understand, like, the intricacies of economic policy. And then people on the other side are like, you just don't get it. You live in a $3 million house. You don't understand why a 25-cent increase in gas prices is like devastating to me. You just don't get it. You know, so it's always one of those things that happens across the board. But when it's done in extra bad faith, like it is with like the Kojima stuff, it's pretty clear that doesn't convince anybody, and it just makes you look stupid. Jordan, thanks for coming by, my friend. Death Stranding feels like a parody of a Kojima game. It's like something he wrote because that's what everyone says about his games. OMG, it's so weird and quirky. It makes no sense. 10 out of 10 genius story. Yeah, I could kind of see that. I think I could see that. It's also just, I mean, again, I think there are reasons to play Death Stranding. I think there's a lot of reasons to play it and a lot of reasons to enjoy it. But there are problems, and that's what frustrates me, is that we just, like, if you're going to compliment Death Stranding, it's bizarre because all of the fanboys, like, if I say, like I did in that video where I tried it again, I said, I really like this game. I play it to relax and I enjoy it. But let's talk about some of the issues. The like fanboys in the comment section, you would have thought that I got up there and like sacrificed a calf on a golden altar in the name of Satan. Like it was like unholy. You can't criticize Kojima. You can't do that. That's unacceptable. You can't. No. The writing is really good. I get that you'd still enjoy the game passively, but the game has one of the most intriguing and in-depth stories you've ever read, like, and consumed. It's really amazing. And it's just like, no, there is a possibility for a more nuanced position. And I think part of the issue, and it's part of the reason why I razzed on Yang Ya so much, just because like he feeds into that Kojima hype a lot. And he is a Kojima fanboy. He is one of those people that defends it beyond reason. And I don't think it's good for Kojima fans. I don't think it's good for people who like those games and are looking forward to the sequel. And it's not good for the industry because it feeds delusion. It's just, at some point, you've got to be able to call out the bad and call out the good at the same time. Even, yeah, exactly, Andre. You're exactly right. Even Pulitzer Prize winning writers need editors. And yeah, it's exactly true. I've never played a Kojima game aside from Death Stranding, though. I did get the story on my first playthrough, just a fluke, I guess. And I think it depends on how you define get. Like, I get the story. I get what was going on. I mean, you'd hope so after like a 2-hour cutscene at the end of the game. Like, I get the story. I just think in terms of method and technique, it was told in a very inefficient way, even poorly, I would say, because it just really strained people's attention and focus. It felt self-indulgent. There are whole story beats that just feel unnecessary. And I just think if that script were half as long, it would be twice as good. I've always thought Kojima was overrated. He writes crap that makes no sense. People act like it's so deeply profound. Yeah, I was like, at the end of the day, I mean, the guy writes characters like Die Hard Man. Like, or Hartman. And then he lives next to a lake that looks like a heart. Like, it's what you would expect like a toddler to write. And I did hear somebody say, they were like, oh, well, no, it's actually way more deep in Japanese. You just don't speak Japanese. I was like, okay, if you're gonna gate off criticism and critique of a story to the language, like a separate language that it was written in and then translated from, like we just can't we can't talk about anything. Like, what are we doing? Like we just can't. Well, I think we're getting silly. Let's see. The Kanye of gaming, Jack Black Hooligan. That's actually really funny. I actually really like that. He's the Kanye West of gaming. That's actually pretty good. I like that. I'm a genius. The illest that ever was. Punching my neighbor just because. Where was it? I think it was something like this. Let me see if I can find it. There was that moment where he was. Oh, this is the super cut of it. Yeah, we just got to put Kanye West's face on,
Made it happen.
or Kojima on it.
So, what are you doing? You running for president?
Yes.
If you're in that position and we have to deal with some sort of a military action with China, what if China takes over Taiwan? What if something happens with Syria? What if something happens with Iran? Have you thought about this?
No. I believe that my calling is to be the leader of the free world.
When you say your calling is to be the leader of the free world, what does that mean? Like, why would you want to do that? Like, what do you want to do differently if you were the leader of the free world?
When I talk, it's a symphony of ideas.
It is a super cut. He didn't actually talk like this in this interview, but the fact that you can't tell the difference kind of tells you everything you need to know. He's just like the classic example of somebody who is surrounded by yes men and never really has to think about it. That be okay. Look at this. Is it I think it's this one.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I have it on the soundboard. Oh, I love it. Okay, here.
If you really did become president,
This is his actual answer,
when
okay?
you do become president, you're going to have to deal with hostile governments. You're going to have to deal with hostile militaries and dictators. You know, people in other countries that don't have a value of human life. And throughout history, we've had immense problems because of that, because of military conflicts. How do you think you will approach that? I mean, you will be the commander-in-chief of the greatest army the world has ever known. If you're in that position and we have to deal with some sort of a military action with China, what if China takes over Taiwan? What if they invade Taiwan? What if something happens with Syria? What if something happens with Iran? What if something happens with Russia? And you have to make decisions about military action. Have you thought about this?
Yes, I would. I have to say again, like COVID, I'm a civilian and people can have all their perspectives that they could have of what they would do in that situation. But I would have the greatest professionals on the planet, the most skilled people that have all the experience that would present the information, and I would make the most sound, rational decisions, and I would follow God's will in my approach to dealing with these other countries, to dealing.
Sorry, just the long pauses. I can't. Okay, I gotta keep it together. Oh crap! I just got a heads up from YouTube. They said we've detected copyrighted audio. I didn't think Joe Rogan. Oh, it's because it's on Spotify now. That's why. I don't have anything nice. Okay, well, if the stream randomly gets canceled for people, let me know in the chat. I'm sorry, that was just what'd you do about this and this and this? I let other people decide. Okay. Come on, Kanye. We don't have all day. The world is on the brink of nuclear war. Me, President, you can't just sit there staring into the abyss. What do we do? I would make the decision that aligns with God's will. So tell me you haven't thought about this thing without telling me you haven't thought about this thing for real. Also, do you guys like, I got the Lego castle put into the display case. God said nukes fly. Party time. I got that in the display case, and then I also have my big pumpkin right there. I have another pumpkin there. It's Halloween time. It's time for spookiness. That's what we're doing. Nearly as bad as Joe Biden explaining his thoughts. It's just like I can't get over. It drives me crazy that everybody feels like they need to be president nowadays. Like why? It's like when Trump won in 2016. People are like, okay, Democrats need a really good candidate. Who should they run? How about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Oprah? And we're like, wait. What makes you think like they'd be good presidents though? Like you're just throwing out names. Like Kanye, great name recognition. Is he at all qualified for the position? No, he wrote Heartless. Heartless was a pretty good song back in the day. It had a cool music video to it. So I guess probably. It's like I forgive me. I thought we had higher standards. I guess I was mistaken. I'm the weird one now. I'm the weird one. Is the pyramid from AC Origins? It's the Lego one. I mean, this pyramid was in Origins. It's the Great Pyramid, but yeah, so I guess technically it was in that. Yeah, I would say so. I found an LED kit for the Hogwarts Castle, Lego Castle, where they run you run wires through like the clock tower or through the tower and through the whole thing. You can light all the torches up with little LEDs. Like it's pretty cool. And then you can set it up. So I'd be able to set it up so it lights up with the rest of the studio. But it's like stupid expensive. It's like $200 for the little LED kit to do it. And apparently it takes like 6 hours to do once it's built. Like you have to then go in and take pieces apart. Some people said you have to drill little holes in the Lego pieces to run the wires through. Like it's pretty elaborate. I think if I did it, it would be awesome and it would look great. But it's like, I don't know. It's just, do I want to put the time in? I don't know. It's October. The law says we only play horror games this month. I think that is fair. I do think I'm going to try to do a video a week focused on scary games. Maybe what we do, we're going to try, today, we're going to try this Manor of Lords demo that they just launched because we said we'd try it and I want to give it a fair shake. So we'll give that a shot. And then we also, I'm thinking we might try bumping into Fear and trying Fear Because I watched my brother play this. I don't think I've ever played it myself. So maybe we do that. And then we can take recommendations for other games. The other thing we could do is like Five Nights at Freddy's and some of these old school games. Maybe we do, should we try to do like, let me know if you guys would watch it. Would you guys watch like a serious critique of the Five Nights at Freddy's games? Like if we did that, where we actually go through 1, 2, 3, 4 sister location. I don't know if there's others now. Are there others? I don't actually know. Five Nights. Security Breach? Is that the new one? It launched last December. Oh, this is trippy. Huh. FNAF World Critique. Yeah, maybe. It does seem like this mainly appealed to like 12-year-olds, and now it's kind of settled down. I don't know. I just remember when that first came out and it was all the rage. Like it's all anybody was talking about. Let's see. I'll watch anything review. Okay. God, no. Collab with Matt Pat. Scariest game of all time is the Final Circle of Warzone. You cannot find a more stressful experience. Oh, dude, for real. But specifically like Verdansk, the Final Circle in Verdansk, that hit different. It just did. I played the ever-living crap out of Warzone in Verdansk too. I loved it, man. Do I have Call of Duty Modern Warfare? I think these are all like...
I need plates desperately.
Like, look at this. This is when we were playing and like I got really into it. We had a lot of fun with this. And like this is Rebirth. Like, I got pretty good at sniping. I went pretty hard back in the day. Oh, I remember this match. Like look at, see him off on the hill. Pop. Oh, hold on, old self. Oh, missed it. Missed it. Oh, this guy comes running out. Oh, this is like final circle of the game. There's 11 people left, 8 kills. And then this one, I run off here. Look at this. I got reported for cheating for this one. Look at this. He's shooting at me. I quick scope him. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. I still don't know how I missed that one. This guy coming in. Hold on, I'm good. Crack. Down. Dead. Like, I hate this new map. Caldera's terrible. He just immediately killed himself. Like, I played the ever-living crap out of this game. Which is why it sucks that it's so crappy now. But Warzone 2, I'll try it. I'll try it. And then Nadia came in and killed you all with aim hacks. Like, I went hard for this, man. Oh, right over there. Where is he? Nikki, I think. Yeah, I was playing with Nikki. Nikki and I played for a while. We would jump in and do this. It's kind of like Protect the President. It was pretty fun. See, look at that. Look at that. I'm built different, dude. Oh, and then this. Do I nail the throwing knife? Do I do it, maybe? Yeah. 4th place. Not great. But man, I miss these days when we played the crap out of Warzone because I loved it. Every time Luke dies, it was Nadia. Can you imagine? We pop it up and it's like every single time. And I miss all those. Oh, it's painful to watch. It's just frustrating because like I did love this. It's just, oh, this guy was so upset too. This is the guy that was super toxic. He was like streaming and he was just like, oh, he was toxic. I remember that. I think he said some very bad words, which is why I can't play the audio. Yeah, I was like, where is this guy? Oh yeah, this guy, I think he was AFK. This guy's just floating in the final circle. Or near it. Oh, this one, yeah, I turned this into a TikTok. See this guy? He's just sitting there in the corner. He's AFK right there. I somehow don't see him because I'm like, he wouldn't just be standing there. He's like in my view, and I don't spot him. Is he hiding somewhere? Where is he? Oh, he's just standing there. But like, oh, I remember this game because it was like a really hard fought match. The other guy was doing really well. The guy over here, him, I think it's actually him. He's got like 9 or 10 kills. He's just cleaning up over there. And then I swoop around this right side up these stairs. And see, it's just 1v2. And then he's going to kill the other guy. It's 1v1. And then I see him running. And then pop. And he was doing so well. And he's just dead. And I think that's one of the frustrations with Warzone as it landed. Is like, it was a great game. You would have so much fun. But like, that wasn't that guy's fault. He was slide canceling well. Yes, he was running in the open. That was kind of a stupid move. But I'm not sure like that was a bad play from him. But because I was just there lined up with a sniper and I landed the quick shot, like he's just dead. Like there's nothing he could do. Even though he played great the whole rest of the game, that last moment, just because he made that one stupid little mistake, he's screwed. It's one of the reasons I like Apex is because you can kind of afford those little mistakes because the time to kill is much longer, you know. Yeah, F's in the chat for whoever that was. In the post game lobby, he was quite upset. He I think he called me a rat or something. It was kind of funny. Let's see. What 5-year-old game will PlayStation remake next? Yeah, we'll just wait for it. They'll probably come out with Last of Us Part 1 remastered. Sorry, remade. Like this time we're actually bringing prone. We'll let you crouch more realistically. Doki Doki Literature Club for Spooktober, and then watch the subsequent 5-hour critique. Doki Doki Literature Club. Is that like, can you actually get that like on Steam, or where do you play it? Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. What's the difference between regular and plus? Psychological horror experience. It features 6 new side stories, 100 unlockable images, music tracks, built-in DDLC, music player, high fidelity visual upgrade, and all artwork is now in 1080p. So you probably play that, right? I mean, I'd be down to try it. Is it like safe for work? Could we actually stream it, or is it not? Get on the outside. Maiden of Mystery. Oh God. Planning, leadership, and you. Aww. Groovy music. Erase your mistakes. I mean, I'm down. I'm down. How long is it? Does anyone know? I wish they would added like an integration for howlongtobeat.com, just like right here. Ooh, and I can play it on Steam Deck. That's great. I'm down. It's only 4 hours. Oh, hell yeah. We could do that. Should we wait? Well, actually, because we probably, if we want to do a video on it for Halloween, we probably need to play it sooner rather than later. So maybe we do that Wednesday. Maybe that's the thing we do. We play Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I'd be down for that. I'll add it to the schedule. Doki Doki Literature Club. Hold on. Doki Doki. Okay, boom. It's official. Where's the minus version with less content? Who can say? Who can say? Purchase for myself. I'll keep this off screen. Are you gonna add Rayman Legends to that? That and Knack 3. We gotta add Knack 3 to it. Boom. Done. Let's see. RE Village expansion stream would be dope for Halloween. Also, yeah, when does that come out? RE Village. It's the Winters expansion, right? I think that's what they called it. Winters expansion. Winter.
Think positively, all right?
We
talked about this.
We talked about this. Here it is. October 27th. Yeah. Let me add it to the schedule real quick, just so I don't forget. That's a Thursday, so we probably are doing a special stream on that day. Maybe we do like...
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do. I want to live a normal life.
Yeah. That's on the stream schedule. Done. So on the day, Thursday the 27th, I think we'll start at 2 p.m. and we'll just stream it all night. Dead Space 1 and 2, we could do that. And those would make good videos too. Maybe Friday we start Dead Space. How long is Dead Space? Like 12 hours? Shadows of Rose.
It's tough. Marking the target.
Does anyone play the Mercenaries mode? 8 to 12? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say like around 12. Dan, tell you appreciate actual horror games with atmosphere and gameplay wise. Yeah, for real. He knows his stuff. And Gears of War. Like, for the love of God. Knows it like the back of his hand. Outer Wilds, yeah. Love me some Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds and Outer Worlds. Both are great. Both are just tremendous. Yeah, I'll add that to the cart as well. Team 17 also has a sale going on. Dude. The survivalists, escapists. I haven't played the Survivalist. Is the Survivalist fun? It's playable on Steam Deck. Interesting. Anyway. Oh no, but that you are the master of Gears of War. The Master Commander. It's so funny. This one tweet I made is just popping off, just because like it's literally half people saying, "Oh, you're just trying to be negative and you're being skeptical," and then the other half of people are like, "Yeah, see, exactly. PlayStation sucks." I'm like, I just wish we could be somewhere in the middle. Like, come on. I can't. Oh, here. Hold on. Sorry, I have my Discord on Do Not Disturb for this. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I can respond to this. Okay, first and foremost, DK Granby. Hey Luke, I have a question about if you're going to be covering the Callisto Protocol and Dead Space remake, since both of them are pretty much getting released around the same time in December and January release date, and also comparing them to the creator of Dead Space. Glenn Schofield is making the Callisto Protocol under a new company he founded while EA was remaking his original creation. I know both games haven't really been marketed a lot, but I'm pretty hyped for both. Good question. I am. Oh, I could actually do this here, so I don't have to manually type things out, and you don't have to be like super annoyed with how slowly I type. I also just got xCloud working on the Steam Deck yesterday, like last night. Dude, it works so well. It's great. It's great. Being able to play literally anything just streamed to your handheld it's solid. You can also, I mean, you can do it on like your phone as well, but it is nice to be able to have it built into the Steam Deck as well. It just shows up as another game. Like it shows up as Xbox, xCloud, whatever, game streaming. You can name it whatever you want. And then it shows up in your list of Steam games. You just launch it and then you can just play it from there. It's great. We were actually just talking about this on stream, comma. It's gonna do it does this every once in a while where like it has a separate box and then you have to copy and paste it from the box into this. It's not a huge deal, but still. This one, oh, it's because I wasn't tagged. I can answer this one, Daniel. Sorry, I was replying to DK and then I'll answer that one. Okay. I do intend on covering all of those, period. I think starting Friday, we'll begin going through the Dead Space games on stream, comma, trying to play through them and taking notes as we go so that we can do a dedicated critique on each of the Dead Space games, and so that we can also compare them to Callisto Protocol and the others when they eventually come out, period. It will be a fun Halloween season for sure, exclamation point. It's not always super accurate, for sure. Eventually come out. Actually, I do intend on covering all of those. I think starting Friday we'll begin going through the Dead Space remakes or games on stream, trying to play through them and take notes as we go so that we can do a dedicated critique on each of the Dead Space games so that we can compare them to Callisto Protocol and the others when they do eventually come out. Boom. Okay, Daniel. Once I get my PC, I'd be able to type out closed captions for the channel's videos free of charge. I'm someone who's always appreciated when YouTubers take the time to implement CC in their videos, and as someone who's partially deaf in my left ear, I appreciate it even more so. Oh, that's badass, Daniel. That'd be great. I'm actually there are services and people that actually pay or charge to do that. You can pay them to CC your videos, and it's super annoying because they charge like so much. It's not even like really funny. It's like I think it was, I did the math for like a 15-minute video. It was going to cost me like $50 to have somebody sit there and type out the closed captions for it. I was like, there's no way like everybody's doing that. Like surely like Mr. Beast, he has people that translate his videos and dub them. Like he hired voice actors and stuff to overdub his videos so they can release in multiple languages and like stuff like that. So I can't imagine that they're using services like that. They probably hire somebody in their production company to do to just go and do it. And like I used to, like the community contributions used to be a thing that was really pushed by YouTube. So I used to have people who like spoke Spanish that would just watch the video and they would translate it in real time. So people that live all over the world or only speak Spanish or are more comfortable in Spanish, they can have the closed captions there. And some people even listen to the videos to try and like learn English and get better at English is they kind of compare that and learn and train themselves through it. So it's a great thing to have. I just wish there were better avenues to do it. But yeah, Daniel, that's tremendous if you'd be willing to help with that for sure. So yeah, maybe if that's something that we really, you know, people do say that they would really appreciate doing, maybe we can make that a priority. We can start tackling that. I think we could definitely do that. And then I'll respond to these, Rhino and Andy, off stream, just so other people don't have to sit through it, through me typing them out. I don't know what that's referring to. Okay, let's try this demo. I want to try this demo. Where is it? Lord of the Manor. Lord or Manor Lords. Sorry, Manor Lords. Okay, let's try this out. Let's try it out. So again, for those of you who missed it, this is basically a demo of a game that's still on the way. But basically it is a sort of city builder sim thing, but it's all like medieval themed. So it's going to be cool. It's very brief, so we'll try it for a second and then we're going to hop on Grounded and see what the official release of Grounded is like. Build a prosperous medieval city. I like his hat. We'll do him. We can change our stuff. Okay, like that. Little goat action. I like that. Starting display, standard balance. Okay, what if we do difficult weather events? Begin. The stuff I saw on Twitter actually made it look pretty decent. Oh, wow. Like, look at that. That's actually not bad. Like, I'll give him credit. That's actually not bad. Graphically, it's pretty good. New message. There's a fire at the heart of every settlement, a bastion of safety, warmth, and light against the darkness of this world. On this cold spring morning, your men blow in their fingertips, their breath clouding the air, but there is plenty of work to warm them. Okay. Construct a granary. I'm assuming construction, hunting, field, farm, pasture, sheep farm, windmill, communal oven. Okay. Village life, well, market area, church, tavern, storage, granary. Connected to roads. I like the snapping. See, like this is one of those, like, some people have asked me, they're like, what's your guilty pleasure game? What do you like? Like, what games do you play just to feel good? And it's these kinds of games. This is exactly what it is. Transporting resources. I love me these types of games. Pitching post, granary, storehouse. We'll build that, and then we should also get some mining pit, logging camp. Probably want to get that going.
Let's go, people.
Couple logging camps. Now select this building and remove. Okay. Unlimited work area, storage, You can dedicate workers. Okay. See, this is my stuff. This is what I like playing. It just makes me feel good. And this, so like, can we really? Okay, that's pretty cool, actually. See, I didn't look into this game at all. I just saw like the thing on Twitter, and then I reached out to the guy that on their media team, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. If you're just like throwing out codes and stuff, I'll give it a shot. And this is actually like way better than I was expecting. Like, this is actually pretty cool. So we can technically build all the way out, like all different trade routes, hunting posts, all sorts of stuff all throughout the map. And it's like, it's a pretty expansive map from what I can tell. Like all of this. I'm interested. I'm interested. This is Manor Lords. There's a demo out today, even like publicly, so you can download this right now and try it if you want. And then they have the like merchants, so you can actually see them traveling around the map. That's pretty freaking cool. Okay, color me intrigued. Color me intrigued. Well played, guys. Well played. So they're logging. Do I have... Okay, so I have account, food, timber, those things. I need to dedicate workers over here so they go and do stuff. How many workers do I have? Homeless tents. Okay. Total population of 5. Okay. To build that out, Woodcutter's Lodge. Not enough resources. I need... Where's the count of resources needed? Just more logs. Okay. And put that there. I like that it actually lets you track who's doing what for it and when and how. Kind of about that. Color me intrigued. Then you see them building it in real time. That's pretty cool. Okay, okay. Well played, guys. Well played. What kind of food do we have over here? It's a hunt. Okay, so they got actual meat. So we can do a hunter's lodge. We're on our way. Low on supplies. Make sure you have enough food and fuel in storage. Okay. I'm about it. Slime Rancher 2. Dude, I haven't thought about Slime Rancher in a hot minute. New message. Your supplies are dry and secure. The first stage of work is done. The stories your people tell around the fire are of the many dangers in this world, from beasts to blights. Strange tales about foxes who go on pilgrimages. A small creature whose spin gold from sunset to sunrise. They tell stories of common names of fears. Soon they'll teach. Okay. Construct a well and a burgage plot. Okay. A well. Trading post. Oh, and then we can build whole like castles and stuff. Village. Well. Must be placed on a water vein. Okay. And then this, what is this? This is like a stone deposit, so I'm guessing we build a mining thing there. No. Windmill, sheep farm, pasture, farm, field. Okay. Then are these guys working? Disconnected from road network. I don't think that's the end of the world though. Can I tweak region map? No, I'm good on the region map. I just want to see if I can like There's a way for me to see under the trees. Construction, region settings, army. So I doubt we have combat and stuff in this. I would assume it's probably that's not a thing. Or in the demo, I mean. This gives me Stronghold vibes. Yeah, but like a much more free-form Stronghold. Do I play Civ? I have played a lot of Civ in the past, yeah. Forgive the sound. Hold on. Here, I can lift the gate even higher. It's just freaking hot in here, so I turned on the AC. This game looks like if Civ and RDR had a baby. It is like very beautiful for an early access demo. Like, look at that foliage. And I don't know about you guys, I always love the ability to go from like a top-down view in these strategy games to a up-close view and see it from the citizen's perspective. I just love that. I think it's better looking than Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I love that game. It's a door. I'm jealous. I wish we were still running ACs here. I'm already sick of the cold and it's been like 2 days. Dude, we had like 2 really cold days the last 2 days. In the mornings though. By the afternoons, they got really hot again and it was miserable all over again. Crap ton of notifications. Let's see. So the well, I thought I did construct it. Is it still? I don't have enough workers to finish building it. Let's see. Some buildings have flexible borders. Place 4 points to designate an area. Cursor will snap rows of other plots. Okay. So this, I think, is going to allow us... Yeah, that looks good. I think this will allow us to actually build... an actual, like, more houses for people. Because we just need more citizens. We don't have enough people to build the stuff that we need to grow. Because they're all on dedicated jobs. So I probably need to kick a few people out of the job. And then let them come and construct. Super high priority. I mean, that's kind of cool. So for like larger building projects, you can go in and you can prioritize them on what needs to be done first, up to 9 levels. So that makes it sound like there's really long construction projects you can do where you have to like build all of this stuff out. I like that. It's already reaching below freezing here in New Hampshire. I'm sure in December I'm gonna be like so ready for summer, but right now with it so hot outside, I'm ready for winter. I'm looking forward to the snow. Total living space. Okay. So I need to build a lot more of those, don't I? Living space for 1 family. I just like make it super nice. Border corners place, housing plots, 1. That's kind of cool. So what if I go here, 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 and then here? Build. Dude, that's fluid as hell. That's pretty cool. Pranav, how is the YouTube streaming experience? So for me, like on my side of things, I like it. I think I prefer a lot of Twitch's tools for like quick alterations, quick like sub only mode. Okay, click. Or like just all of that little stuff that they've poured a lot of time and money into to making it work very fluidly. But overwhelmingly, the user experience has been much better over here. People seem to much prefer watching on YouTube than Twitch, which is interesting. Like, because you think of Twitch as the hub for live content, but Twitch, for one, the ads have gotten so aggressive recently that I think people are turned off by it. It's just like you pop in. I had this happen the other day. I wanted to pop in and see what I think it was Nick Merckx was doing in Apex, and I clicked on his stream, and then it popped up with ad 1 of 6 playing, and I can't stand it. So I clicked off. I was like, I'm gonna have to sit through like 3 minutes of silence to see for 3 seconds if I want to watch the stream right now, because he could be doing something I'm not interested in, or whatever it is. Like, you can't even pop in to just see what's going on, and that's ridiculous. Like, I can't think of an explanation for that. Twitch really needs to figure that out, because right now it's just ridiculous that you can't. They don't have a more efficient way of dealing with that. So hopefully they figure it out soon, because they need to. They need to. And so there's other things, like you guys are talking about stability of the stream. So like transcoding is only a thing if you are a partner, which now I haven't filled out the paperwork yet, but they offered me partnership on Twitch. So I could become a Twitch partner, and then we would have transcoding where you could watch the stream in a lower resolution if you need to. But you still have the ads to deal with and all of that. I think YouTube's notifications work a little better, and I do like that there's a little more unity across, like, where you can just come from the YouTube channel, my main channel, you can pop over here, you watch some of the stream, then you pop over, you watch some of the stream clips from the day before or whatever it is. You know, you can just bounce around. And the other thing that's super nice is that you can pause and then catch up. We have so many people that like want to watch the stream, but you know, they work a job where they have to, you know, pause the video and then come back in and pop back up, and then they are behind. And on Twitch, they just would be screwed. Like, you just be waiting for an extended period of time doing your work or whatever, and then you pop back into the stream and you're totally out of touch. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know where people are or what they're talking about. Whereas on YouTube, you just rewind 5 minutes and then you catch up that way. So I think that this works really well. I'm a fan. I'm working right now doing that. Yeah, see, Corey, and it works nice because you can pause and then you don't miss anything. And then you can watch it on 2x speed while we're still live and catch back up to us. That's super cool. I'll be real, guys. I'm really liking this. This is like my kind of game. And the fact that this early access demo that's in beta is running so well, kind of about that. 22 is our population. And it's snowy now. Did we finish building those hunting? Okay. Where's our granary? Oh, dude, we have like no food. Okay, we gotta figure that out. Well, berries. Go pick some berries. Please. Hurry. We need food. We're all starving. See if that helps at all. New message. Clothing stall. A bunch of stuff. Okay. Yeah, we are running low on fire and fuel. Well, we're trying. Approval is at 48%. Not great. Not great. Okay. How do we deal with this? Expot food stall. New trees. Oh, that's cool. You can have these guys just go out and plant new trees for you. That's cool. Farming. This is kind of cool. Okay, so we build out the actual farm plot. And then we build the farm.
Let's go, people.
Crop type barley. Emmer. Can be processed into grain. Oh, that's cool. And then you can rotate the crop so it goes food, fallow, food. That's kind of cool. Okay. Sorry, I'm geeking out on the game right now. I like this kind of thing. Twitch is probably seeing a lot of departures currently. A lot of streamers and channels I follow are doing the same thing, trying out YouTube Experiment recently. Basically, post the big announcement they made. Yeah, it's funny. Like Twitch was doing really well. They made that announcement. No gambling. We're getting rid of it, and people love that because like one of the most frustrating things was that you could be a really good streamer. You're working your ass off. You're grinding it out. But XQC hops up there and does a few gambling streams where he's just like screwing around and wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he gets like, he also has sponsorships from the gambling sites, and it's just scummy and gross. And then like they're doing giveaways where they give away money that they win in the stream. So it feels like you're just paying the audience to be there. It's just like the whole thing left a really bad taste in everybody's mouths. And like after all of that, they banned it. Everybody was generally really positive. And then like 2 days later, they come out with that announcement that just pissed everybody off. And everybody was like, screw this, man. Threshing priority. I don't know what that means.
Let's go, people.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna try to get our food production fixed. Flour.
Let's get to work.
Okay, and then flour, convert that into not in the freezers. Okay, we'll give it a second. Oh yeah, remember that streamer that literally had sex on stream and then the ban reversed after like 10 days? I think it was a 7-day suspension. It wasn't even like a ban. It was a suspension for 7 days. And I mean, that really reinforces the perception that there is a lot of like there's a real double standard where people just feel as though they, like, some people get special treatment and it's just sucky. And it's not just Twitch. YouTube also does it, but Twitch has always been really bad about it. Specifically, they give a lot of extra leeway to female streamers than male streamers. Like, there were some guys that wore like tank tops and the tank top slipped in and you could see the dude's nip, and they like permanently banned him. Meanwhile, a girl has sex on stream and then they keep it. You know, it's why, like, people joke, they're like, oh, Twitch is just turning into like a soft-core porn site. Like, it's not that much of a joke anymore. Like, it really isn't, unfortunately. Communal oven. No, I want to do actual, like an actual bakery. Where was it? I just had it. Windmill. Flour to bread. I guess that is. They're out here working away in the fields. Iron deposit. Okay. And carts for transporting. Okay. Boom. Love it. Super easy. Like, again, for a work in progress, this is pretty robust. And just the sheer expanse, like the fact that we can build this out and eventually expand all across here, that makes me very interested. Because my favorite thing is when you start small and eventually you have just a massive kingdom under you. And one of my frustrations is that so many of these games have very tiny maps and you can barely do anything with them. But this is like ridiculously big. I love it. So are you staying on YouTube then for streaming? Right now, like when I did that survey of you guys, 95% of people said that they preferred YouTube. So I think for me to swap back to Twitch at this point would be pretty stupid. Like, the people have spoken effectively, you know? So there's perks of Twitch, there's perks of YouTube. I just think right now, at least, it seems like YouTube is the place to be. Twitch is just so inconsistent and they don't care about anything but the bottom line. That's certainly the perception. And then there's other moments where they're just really unprofessional. Like just the fact that I've had to struggle with the freaking just getting approved for which was it? Like, we had to spend so much time waiting to hear back on partnership. Like, that's insane. That we were in the 1/10 of 1% of all streamers, and it took them 2 months to answer us. Like, that's ridiculous. It just is, you know? I ended up getting that extension by Ludwig, and it helps a bit with YouTube's UI. Yeah. I think if you haven't gotten that yet, you should try it, because it works really well. We'll go here. We'll just do big plots. Not enough resources. Well, hopefully they can figure that out. Give them a minute. It's going to cost 18. That's going to be a minute. But even YouTube can be inconsistent, but at least they try to show that they care about their creators. Ludwig's story of him switching over is a good example. Yeah, and it's always tricky because, like, the huge streamers, they obviously have very special treatment. They just do. Like, to look at Tim the Tap Man and be like, oh, well, his story is very relatable to me. Like, that's not actually, let's be honest. he has a very special use case. Very few people are going to end up in Tim the Tap Man's position. But I do think the perception is certainly that YouTube cares about creators more than Twitch. And that's a big problem for Twitch, because Twitch is meanwhile doing all of this stuff to present like the like, oh, we care about you guys, we're all in this together, which is why we're cutting your pay and stuff like that. Just weird behavior on their part. So there are problems like that they do. Okay, I did get some timber. You're just jealous of Tim? Hell yeah, I'm jealous of Tim. The dude, like, he's doing great. He's doing very well. The contracts for even the huge streamers are laughable when compared to YouTube. It's tricky because, like, I think this is why Twitch, like, really shot themselves in the foot. Just think about this. Big streamers on Twitch. Up until recently, big streamers, yeah, I switched to the intermission UI just because, like, we're letting them collect lumber and then I'm gonna build these housing plots, so I figured it would be like a nice little break. So, like, the big streamers, they went in and they used to have special agreements where the new streamers or the big streamers would make like 80 to 90% of the sub revenue and would get bonuses for signing. Like Nick Merckx, I'm sure they signed special stuff to keep him on Twitch. So they probably agreed for like 90-10 split, keep him on, because he was about ready to move to YouTube. He was pissed off. And then they probably gave him a big signing bonus and kept him on. What they said in this announcement, the big announcement, was that they're basically getting rid of those special agreements. Like, you're just screwed if you want those. You're done. And that's ridiculous. That's a dumb move on their part. Because now all those big streamers, they're just going to wait for their contracts to end. And then they're leaving. Like, they'll just go and hang out on freaking YouTube. And they'll take a higher cut. And they'll end up way better off. Way better off. Especially, they're getting pay cuts specifically on anything they earn over $100,000, and they, like, it's not a small pay cut. They're going from, like, in some cases for these big guys, after they lose that contract, they'll be going from like 90% down to 50%. How do they void terms in the contracts like that? Well, they're not voiding it. They just sign these streamers for like a year at a time, sometimes 2 years at a time, to stay on Twitch. So for these big guys, they just signed it where they, like, for Nick Merckx, he say he's got like a year contract or a 2-year contract. Say that expires next July. I don't know if it does. Let's just say next July. Next July, Nick will fall back into the regular agreement that they just said that they'll be instilling next summer. And so then he will be limited by the other standards that they're dealing with. So he's going to go from like 90% of subs and donations and things down to 50 on everything over 100,000. And that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Am I going to accept the partner thing? My understanding, pantry limit, build more granaries or employ more granary workers. Okay. My understanding is that the if I accept the partnership thing, I still am allowed to stream on YouTube. I just can't stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but I can still stream on both. And I'll just be a Twitch partner that doesn't stream on Twitch, which I don't know if, like, they're probably going to terminate it pretty much immediately if I sign up. So I don't know if I want to do that, just have them immediately terminate it. So I don't know. I don't like super foresee them moving back. Some people were saying, well, maybe Twitch comes out with some really competitive rates and competitive things that make it more reasonable and make it so you might want to go back over to Twitch, or maybe YouTube screws up and does something stupid. I don't know. I will say it does kind of change it. On Twitch, we used to like just react to whatever, watch whatever. We watched that one little clip of Kanye on Joe Rogan's podcast. Didn't even think about it. That's probably going to get the whole stream demonetized after this. So I'm going to have to go and deal with that. I just have to be better about it, you know. Oh, YouTube's definitely going to screw up eventually, but it's just a matter of whether, like, when they screw up and how bad. As always, like, how bad are they going to screw up this time? We'll see. Number of months before supplies run out, food. So, like, I have a lot of grain, but I have, like, no food. Why do I have no food? Because no one's working here? I think that's probably why. I built a place for people to cook food, and then I forgot to assign workers to it. So they've just been, the grain's just been stacking up. I'll take 2 wood to build that I don't have. Maybe, come on. I know everybody's starving to death. I know. It's horrible. Pantry limit reached. Build more granaries or employ more granary workers. I thought I did. Granary. 1 more worker. Okay. They're going. Maybe I need to add, what was it, a cart? It's like from here to here. Does that create a separate path for just the little ox dudes? Ox to help in logistics. Okay. Pantry limit reached. I'm trying to transport it. Oh, is it because we're having people die of starvation? Yeah, probably. All of our granary workers are dying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, we're trying. We're trying, fam. I don't know. Yeah, Manor Lords. Lesson learned from this stream: don't allow Luke to run for governor. The town will die of famine. Yeah, he'll just spend like 20 minutes, or I guess in-game, years building large swaths of housing, low-cost housing, and then forget that he needs to feed everybody. But like, I built this big farm. They created a ton of wheat and grain. And then the windmills, they don't really seem to be doing much of anything. Do I have any flour? I don't. Tons of pelts. Yeah, I see how far our population dropped. Oh my god, everyone's starving to death. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, fam. Yeah, I think I probably screwed up this save. I expanded too quickly, and then I just assumed if I had these built, I would have workers taking the grain, turn it into flour, and then these guys, I built this, they'd take the flour, put it into bread, move it into the granary. But I must be missing something, because I think the individual people were dying off, or they left, or something was going on where I couldn't actually get the workers there. So I think I screwed it up. If YouTube can start offering some of the good quality of life components Twitch has in regards to control over streams, then it's GG. But Twitch still has something like 80% of the market share currently. Yeah, but the crazy thing is, like, that 80% of the market share is, like, I think it's entirely tied up in the top 0.5% of streamers on the platform, which is like a couple of hundred people. So, like, if XQC gets his contract cut, which it's going to be cut, he'll just move over to YouTube. And then, like, that alone, XQC's audience probably represents like 8% of the YouTube or of the streaming community. So, like, they literally only need a few people to decide to come to YouTube to just win. and it doesn't just happen. Like, that's not that easy to deal with. True, he averages like 80K or something insane. Yeah. No, it's like actually insane how crazy it is. His audience is just gigantic. And I still don't really understand why. I still don't really understand why, if I am being entirely honest. So one thing I've noticed with YouTube streams, though, is that we have this thumbnail that pops up for everybody. And on Twitch, you didn't have to deal with that because, like, they didn't really recommend your streams or do anything. But with YouTube, it does matter. It's kind of a big deal, is that thing. But I've noticed that it is an issue if you let me do this. If, like, we talk about one thing early and then we can't, like, we go and we talk about something else later, then we're just kind of screwed. Let's see. Let me save this. So what I'm doing in real time is I'm just going through and I am occasionally changing the thumbnail that appears so that it more accurately reflects whatever we're talking about or whatever we're doing. Let's see. Grounded. Voila. What is it? Yeah, the other thing is moderation tools are very, very limited here. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I don't really see the chat going on. Video editor at all? Right now, there. Right now, I think we are at capacity. As always, if you send something to my like chat or to my business email or Twitter DMs or Discord DMs, I can save that, and so next time we're looking for more assistance and stuff, we can tap into that and see that you applied previously and all that. And so I am not currently looking for more. We are trying to expand with all of these stream clips. We're doing hopefully 3 videos a week on the main channel, and then we're going to try to do, of course, TikToks and potentially even Facebook videos as well. So we're trying to expand a lot, but right now I just don't think we have enough content going up to justify like 2 full-time editors. So but that might change in the future. I mean, hopefully it'll change where we just get to have tons of stuff going all at once. But when it does, you'll hear about it for sure. But send like a little message so I know that you are in it to win it. Okay, so there's different characters.
That's my name.
This seems like it's mostly who has the most annoying voice.
Actually, I don't recommend thinking about that. Trust me, I've heard it all before. Ready for adventure. Whoops here. Ready to mix it up?
I guess hoops. Medium, moderate stress level, manage thirst, hunger, health, stamina while you fight to survive. Creative with bugs, 0 stress, craft and explore with no resource management or existential threats. Insects. Will be present but not aggressive towards players. Creative, no bugs, it seems like. Whoa, the most punishing way to live the tiny life. Bugs are tougher, vitals are harder to keep filled, and everything breaks faster. Mild, hostile, but stats are more forgiving. Let's just do medium. They do medium by default. World name, is it Azkaban? It's with a Z. Is it with a Z? Azkaban. Yeah, it is. Azkaban. Boom, 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 boom. I volunteer as a part-time editor just so I can put well-hidden penises throughout the videos. Yeah, exactly. Just, you know, well-hidden, tasteful. It's tasteful. Tasteful dicks. Yoked girth.
Kids, are you ready for a new wild and wacky puncho fruit flavor? Introducing apricot. It's a punch to the gut. So stop by, fill up, and make sure you get your Billy Hog hot dog before you jet away.
Good morning, Brook Hollow. Today is October 20, 1990. This is your news. We have a special breaking report. The police department has released information that more local teenagers have gone missing. They were last seen earlier this week, and the only connection between the teenagers is that they are all students at Brook Hollow High School. This could be linked to the disturbing trend of other possible abductions and missing teenagers from our otherwise quiet town. If anyone has seen the teenagers or has any other information, please contact the police department. The mayor of Brook Hollow has put a curfew into effect for anyone under 18 starting tonight. Now to other news. In the business world, prominent practical technology signs a few deals with.
I'm vibing!
Interesting. So I don't know if they actually have like a story or a theme in this now. Because back when I tried it,
Can't remember
ooh,
what happened.
back when I tried it, it was very, very like,
Where am I? What
I
the
don't know, this
heck is
performance is
place?
something else though. It's
Every
pretty, oh God.
big.
For one, let me turn down the sensitivity. Back when I played it, it was very, very limited in terms of what it was. I mean, it was basically just like a run around and like there's some crafting, there's some of the survival stuff, but it was very early on. I think I last tried it back when it very first launched. Mouse sensitivity, let's go down to like 10. Apply, close. But I just applied them. What are you talking about? Display, field of view 100. Unlimited. Apply. Keyboard 10. Okay.
Whoa. Where am I?
Let me pull up performance. Jesus, what is going on? I mean, this looks nice. when it's not stuttering like crazy. Oh, God. Okay, what I'm going to try, I think what might be happening is it's freaking out whenever the mouse like gets to the edge because it's trying to move the mouse to a different screen that I have, and I think that might be what it is.
Signal detected.
Buzzer! Whoa. What was that? Some sort of signal?
I can already tell I'm probably going to hate the voices. I don't. Okay. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. It's just freaking out on me. Let me try a controller. Maybe a controller will help. Let's try a controller. Maybe that's the fix. Okay. Analyze.
This isn't the only one of these science pods. I should keep searching and see what else I can turn up.
Okay. I hate playing on controller. I'm so bad at it. Power fluctuations. Okay. Analyze light bulb idea. Okay. So you said the Brandon, you're saying the Series S, like the Xbox port, runs pretty well? Let's analyze these. If it runs better there, like I could actually see playing on Xbox. Brain power. Okay. Unlocks. Oh, we can use that to unlock like axes and stuff.
Where are you headed, Ant?
Oh, there you go. I was like, I don't think he's headed anywhere. Wow, I just said cute name. I'm still sort of new. I just thought it was a cute name. Yeah, no, that was like before 10,000 likes. I hit like 10,000. I was like, okay, I probably need to be like a little more professional. I remember thinking it was like super clever of me because I was like, ooh, yeah, it's like a PewDiePie. Yeah. Craft a pebble axe. Craft. Pebble spear. Okay, I need more sprigs and crude rope. Okay. Why can I not craft this? I only need one. 2 are available. Craft many? No. Craft and equip? No. Okay, well, I need more sprigs anyway.
Is that a basketball court?
I remember this. I remember this from the demo. This rings a bell. It is like a fun idea. It's a very different kind of survival game, and I can appreciate that. Because like so many of these survival games, it just ends up being like Rust knockoffs, and they're just kind of lame. But see, this is like at least somewhat unique and fun. I can appreciate this. And it has co-op, which I could actually see getting really into. Because Nikki and like Caleb and I, we've all been looking for a new kind of game to get into it. But who knows, maybe Warzone 2 will satisfy that for us. Find water. Here's a little... No, there's a puddle. Series S is stable. I tried it yesterday. Okay, so maybe I try playing it on console because it has the cloud saves. I could just transfer them across. What's that? Sap? Okay. Okay. Can I craft now? I do so ever hate having to swap between like tabs. Oh, it's left bumpers.
Come on, reindeer nose. Want a piece of this?
Lawn mice, okay. Hear them all over. Only mildly upsetting. It's over here. I remember like we got to the big tree. I remember that was a thing. Like there was a big tree in the distance we got to eventually. With like a big spider that lived inside of it. I remember that. That was like the furthest we got to because the spider was glitching out super bad. So we just decided not to bother. Somebody was saying like, well, it's an Obsidian game, so you shouldn't expect it to be unbuggy. And like, it's half joking, but it's also like, I get that vibe where people are just used to them making kind of crappy games that are really broken. So we expect it and we sort of forgive it at times. But like, I don't think we should do that anymore. Like, I think that was a remnant of a time long past, and we shouldn't do that anymore because it's like we're paying these guys money for these products at the end of the day. Like, even though it's on Game Pass, we are paying for Game Pass. So like, just because we are used to them in the past making broken games, I don't think we should like excuse it moving forward. So yeah, it is a little stuttery randomly. I do like the vibe of just being a tiny little thing in a very unremarkable place, but we're so small that it's like a whole new world. Nice. Valheim was good. Yeah, Valheim. I do like Valheim. And it's so lightweight, like you can play that thing on a toaster. It's nice. Conan X, oh shoot. It's a giant ant. Conan, I haven't really played Conan. Save me! Dabby Cola. How do I unload? It's kind of fun. I still don't know where I was. I thought it was over here, but I guess I was wrong. Oh God! I'm running! Just get away. Just get away. It's okay. Dude, it's so scary. They do have like an arachnophobia mode where you can turn off spiders and stuff in case you are particularly afraid of them. Because these things are like pretty horrifying. I'm about to die, I swear to God. Craft. Okay, crafting does pause the menu. That's good. Some sap. Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. So heal it. Okay. Okay. We're figuring it out. Just gotta figure out where I'm going. The spiders in this game actually scare the shit out of me. Yeah, it's they're spiders I don't find scary, but I'm also a lot bigger than spiders. But now, like that I'm tiny, I get it. Just watched the LA Noire video, about to play it for the first time. Awesome, Isaac. I think you'll like it. If you can play the remaster, I recommend that version. Just because it fixes some of the pop-in and stuff, like I talked about at the end of the video. But if like you're just gonna play it for the first time, period, it's worth playing. Trying to get up high so I can see where I am. Map. Okay, over there. I was headed the complete wrong direction. That's why. I do like that it's also in centimeters is the distance. That's good. I like that. Yeah, I was all turned around. I was going the complete wrong direction. Level up. Okay. Some clothes and armor. I can appreciate that. Okay, mysterious machine. We'll investigate this. Here's some water.
Put a Pancho label on it and kids would probably drink this up. Call it swamp cooler? Ooh, light show! Aw, it didn't work. Looks like one laser is blocked and the other is shorted out. Time to get fixing.
Okay, chop this down. Now it's hitting. And this one's shorting out, so we'll figure out that what's wrong with that one. Okay, okay. Sure can, Andre. Sure can. It's a necessity. I mean, you want it to run, right? Like big shadow of the house in the background. Blur. Something smoking. Okay, craft a torch. Craft torch. Any more ropes, dry grass. Okay. Need some of these little things. And then I need more little sampling doodads. Sprigs. Is that enough? Okay.
Bam! Alley hoops! Bringing the light. Might alert!
Ah! Okay. For the All-Father! Slime mold sack. What a lovely thing. A busting tool. Okay. A busting tool. Okay, any more pebblets? This is the thing about these types of survival games, though, is they always start so slow. Like, you have to just run around and pick things up off the ground randomly. It's kind of... It's a wee bit tedious. I specifically built my rig to have no RGB, and I even manually disabled the motherboard lights. Now I have to only get 192 instead of over 200. But that's why. Now you know. I'm glad we could help. It's funny, like, I was looking at like PC building stuff. Did you know they make freaking like power supply cables that have RGB like in the strands? It's a thing. How insane is that? Like, you can have the actual cables running to your motherboard, your CPU, your GPU. You can have all those cables independently powered with RGB. It's crazy. Who needs that? I don't know.
Peeping time.
What? I tapped Y and she said peeping time. That's weird. Catch your breath.
Can't waste food. Can't waste food. Can't waste food.
Break this. See, this will help, having just a ton of pebblets. I do like that because it's even smaller than pebble, so it's a pebblet. It's cute.
Whatever's rumbling down there, I'm gonna stomp on it.
Scabby, additional flavor scheme available.
Did I really not need to go down here? Oh, it's just specialty rocks. Okay. Then I think we're good there.
Ants coming through.
Okay, now let's see if we fixed it. I'm genuinely curious how they did research for the game. Like, did Obsidian go into their backyard with magnifying glass, just jotting down notes? Probably, man. Like, why not? How else did you do it? I mean, try to get a perspective from under the grass. It is like a whole new world. Okay.
Whoa! Good job, giant explosion machine.
Building blueprints without having the need resources. Okay. It's like, this looks pretty good. And now it's running stable. I think what it is, the same thing happened with Elden Ring, if you guys remember that. Where the, like, it's called shader compiling. So normally your shaders are compiled like before you get the game or when you do the initial loading or boot up. Sometimes for less optimized games, they compile the shaders in real time as a new object is rendered into the world. So as you load into new areas, it gets super stuttery and then it performs better as you get further and further into the game. That could be part of it. I also don't think I've updated my driver, so if they did a driver update for this game, that might be part of it. One nice thing about the Steam Deck, though, in case you didn't know, the Steam Deck actually allows you to download compiled shaders separately. So, like, some games have independent shaders pre-compiled and pre-rendered just for the Steam Deck that you can download before you start playing it on the Steam Deck, which is like a great touch. I just love that. Like, oh yeah, because otherwise the Steam Deck would just chug along trying to render this stuff while you load in. It would burn battery life. It just wouldn't be very good. So they just let you download those things before. No need to do it in real time. On a big computer like this, you probably don't need to. Oh God. I get it in focus. The bird. The bird's watching me. The bird is the word. That's scary. Bobby Lopez. Hey, I just seen some of that LA Noire video. Want to hang out now? Yeah, I mean, you're here now. No time like the present. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids video game. For real. Dude, that movie back in the day, Rick Moranis, I think it was like early 90s. That was the stuff. That movie was the stuff. I have to chop down clovers. That movie was also like really scary, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I saw it, but I remember that being actually kind of a scary movie. Slurp the nasty water.
Decide what's worse. If I don't eat, I'm gonna fall over.
That's a good point. I do need to eat, and I didn't really think that through. Can I eat some of the stuff I took off of the clay? Oh, it doesn't freeze the game when you... It doesn't freeze the game when you pause. Okay, let me go up here. Craft. Fiber. Might hat. Arrows. Thick paste, blended ant parts. Roasting spit. Yeah, I might start to I don't see a lot of food. Page Master, that doesn't ring a bell for me. If you didn't have Rick Moranis in your childhood, I feel bad for you. Real talk. Rick Moranis was the bomb. Tick Morantis. Oh God. Eat or die. Oh, they're doing a count. I didn't even see that. Oh crap. I don't know what to eat. Oh, please be something in here. Can I get inside? I want to eat the mince. I'm so dead. I can't get in there. I didn't even notice the countdown. Oh God. Okay. So I died, so I respawn back there. Do I just get to reclaim my stuff? Is that how it works?
My lucky backpack.
Yeah, okay. So it's not the end of the world, but I do need to figure out how to make food. Okay. Major missed opportunity for Obsidian not to include an Easter egg boss named Mick Morantis. That would be amazing if they did. DLC. We need that. Now you reminded me I gotta find that somewhere for nostalgia. It's probably on Amazon Prime too. That's got to be a thing, right? 30 second. Yeah, I just totally missed it. Sorry, Brandon. I was just like chatting. I didn't even notice that there's a countdown leading to my death. Let's see. I still shed a tear for when Auntie dies in Honey I Shrunk the Kids. Oh, that is right, dude. There's so many. Like I remember the wafer snack. They run into like a wafer cookie or whatever thing, and I remember it looking really weird. But then I looked at a wafer cookie I had one day, and I was like, oh, that looks the same. I just never looked at it that way. I remember that. There's weird stuff. That would be a throwback. We'll have to watch that. John, let's see. Hey, Luke, I've just seen your video about Mafia games. Did you know that Mafia 1, main idea for Mafia 2 and Kingdom Come, was made by the same person? Video games director, designer, Daniel Favre. Really? He's got the magic touch. I just need to follow him and follow everything that he does, and I'll probably love it. That's crazy. It is on Prime. Boom. Problem solved. Everybody, that's our homework between now and next stream, is everybody's got to rewatch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's what we'll do. Let's see. Have I been watching the new Game of Thrones show? If so, what do you think? I have not. I just haven't like gotten around to it, really, if I'm being real. There's so many, like I gotta start up Better Call Saul. I have Edge Runners I'm almost done with. I've got all that, like there's just a ton. There's a ton I have to catch up on, and I'm so far behind. Christopher Lloyd. Oh, I love Christopher Lloyd. He's the best. Let's see. House of Dragon. Oh yeah, that's funny. You guys said it like right at the same time. That's funny. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I might get around to it, but I think it's probably one of those where I could benefit from watching it. New save. It's probably one of those I would benefit from watching the whole of Game of Thrones before, right? Is it a prequel, like a pre-show? Because maybe I need to rewatch the whole show, because I think I didn't get through the finale of Game of Thrones. It's a prequel? Okay, so we could watch it. Okay. It'll help a little. So it's kind of like The Hobbit. You don't need to watch the other movies first, but if you do, you'll get a bigger kick out of it. You're like, oh, they said the thing, you know, that kind of situation. I can see that. Luke, you excited for the Mario movie trailer this Thursday? Dude, it's gonna be so funny. I'm so ready. Like, what did they call it? Like Chris Pratt. He said like the director was like, I just want everybody to know, Chris Pratt, he's not gonna do a stereotypical Italian voice. What he's done for us with Mario is tremendous. Like, it's a tremendous performance. It's like, okay, I don't know how you do a tremendous Mario. I think it's just going to be his voice. I don't think it's going to be, I swear to God, if it ends up being like a super Italian, oh, he's a Mario, but with the weird Chris Pratt spin, it's going to be bad. I will not stand for this Italiophobia. Yeah, it's just, I can't think of a reason why they went with Chris Pratt if they're going to have him do a voice. So it's just going to be Chris Pratt. It's just going to be him talking. And if it's anything other than that, it will be memed into oblivion. So, you know, just wait. Just wait. I ain't gonna lie, Game of Thrones Season 8 isn't bad. It's just okay. It didn't die. It was murder. I'm so excited to see more, but so hear Chris Pratt do more. I can't. I don't know why they would hire him other than it's just name recognition, but I think Chris Pratt's one of those actors where probably in like 3 to 5 years after Guardians of the Galaxy is over, he probably disappears and stops getting cast. Because like weirdly, Disney and a lot of those production companies really care what the Twitter sphere says. And the Twitter sphere really does not like Chris Pratt. They really are not fans. So I think it'll eventually come back around. Shyam, yo, I just came from the LA Noire video. I love that game on PS3. It's such a beautiful, or such a breath of fresh air. I think it still holds up, especially remastered for PS4. Yeah, no, I agree. I think you should play it. like I think parts of it have definitely aged badly. Like the animation system, I think that you see it now and you're like, oh god. But at the time, it was great. It was just we moved in a different direction. But like if they still use that technology today, it would be like I can't even imagine what they'd be able to do. But it's just simply because they got like facial capture and motion capture down so well. It ended up being more difficult to do it the LA Noire way than just doing it this brute force way otherwise. Yeah, Twitter doesn't like anyone to BH. Dude, I've wanted to like delete my Twitter so many times. So many times. I've been this close so many times. Yeah, it has nostalgia for me. I felt if they didn't abandon that tech, it would have been insanely good today. Yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know how you do that without a ton of extra hoops to jump through developmentally. Like back then, like I said in the video, they would have to sit in a chair with camera surrounding them, deliver their lines, they capture it, and then separately they'd go on a soundstage and they would do the motion capture for the scene, trying to mimic their head movements as close as they could to what they did in the booth. And that's just that's a huge extra step. Whereas now, like for God of War Ragnarok, what they do is they just have the sound stage where they have the motion capture done, and then they have a little camera that comes around and captures their face, and they map it all onto the characters in one fell swoop. So like there's no 2 sessions of recording. The only way I think you could do it with like the LA Noire tech is if you had a helmet that literally just had a ring of cameras around their head and then captured it and projected it on. And the other downside of the LA Noire tech is that like you're limited to what the person looks like. You know, so like Kratos, it wouldn't really work for Kratos because it would just be Christopher Judge. Like, so you can't really do that where you have somebody play somebody that looks different than they do. So it's much more in line with like an actual actor and typical Hollywood stuff. But it's just, it limits it, especially in the context of video games where you have people playing elves and like lizard monsters and gods of war, you know, so you're very limited. LA Noire has a severe uncanny valley effect. Yeah, I think for some people it's worse than for others because I don't really get uncanny valley. There's a couple of moments like I showed in the video where the guy's walking funny. That moment hits me really weird and I just find it uncomfortable. But the general gameplay, I don't usually get uncanny valley vibes from it, but I have heard that from a lot of people who find it really off. I also just found out that Rabbids will finally speak of the new Mario Rabbids game, and it's not that bad. Really? I could see it being like the Minions, where they just have gobbledygook language. But you know, that could be funny. I could see that. Let's see, John Shiesty. I wrote with regards to that guy that made all those games I love. Why he made shooting and driving in Mafia that hard. If you can somehow find only chats from me, you can read it. Okay. John, he likes to make games as real as possible. That's why shooting, driving is hard in Mafia. Same thing with combat and Kingdom Come. Original dabbing or dabbing. Okay. Or dubbing maybe. Original dubbing is Czech, and they didn't have a lot of money to make the English dubbing. Okay. Yeah, I've always been conflicted with that because I've heard that from a lot of developers and a lot of people that defend certain games where they say like, oh, like for example, the Hideo Kojima Death Stranding thing. Oh, the last portion of the game in Death Stranding is really bland and boring because it's supposed to signify purgatory, so we're setting it up like that. So it's purgatory. So like you're just running and it's like running a beach that never ends, right? I get that as an artistic choice. I get that. But at the end of the day, you're also trying to make a fun, like a video game that's worth playing and is engaging and doesn't drive people crazy. And with like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I can appreciate that as the game goes on, you get better at combat as Henry gets better at combat. I can appreciate that. But there's also the problem of just making a video game when people play the game and you like start the game in the first 20 hours are just uncomfortable and hard to deal with. like all the person is going to walk away from is that the game is uncomfortable and difficult to play because it's clunky. But if you say, well, no, that's by design because it's supposed to feel clunky, because Henry would feel clunky doing this. Again, I get the artistic choice, but I don't think that it's worth making that artistic choice at the cost of losing players who will just give up thinking that it's just sucky because it's sucky. And not to mention, it's also a great excuse for developers to excuse like systems that need to be better. So I can see why. I just think I would personally disagree with the design choice. When making Kingdom Come, he also worked with historians and swordsmen to make it real. It's amazing because he made the game in a real region with real historical events in my country, but 800 years back in time. Yeah, no, it's tremendous in that way. I just want to say that English dubbing for games which were not made primarily for English speaking, like Witcher 1, Mafia 1, can be bad, and also that driving, shooting was made that hard. Yeah, no, and I totally get that. I also don't want to defend it. It's just his personality and how he makes games. You can see his touch in these games. Yeah, there's a through line through all of it, sort of a scarlet thread that carries through. And I like I said, I can appreciate all of that. But at the end of the day, I think there is the pragmatic side of it where it's just a matter of, hey, if people find this game to be clunky and uncomfortable, like, even if it was by design, people just feel like it's clunky and uncomfortable. It's like, you know, oh, we're letting you play as, like, I don't know what a comparison would be. Like, I don't know. Like in a first-person shooter, like you could even say something like a more grounded shooter. Maybe grounded is the wrong word, but like let's just take Call of Duty. Like if Call of Duty was coming along and all of a sudden there's realistic weapon jams and randomly your gun stops working and it's just totally out of your control. It's completely random. It's more grounded. It's more realistic, but I don't think that would lead to a fun game. And Call of Duty is probably a bad example because Call of Duty doesn't try to be grounded or realistic. But like any shooter game you could point to, I think it would lead to a more frustrating game than anything else. Let's see. Let's see. Alexander, I come from your LA Noire video. Isn't RE7 technically using the same technique as LA Noire to make those facial animations? In RE7, they use a lot of cameras. Some have made a video about it. They do. My understanding was the RE7 stuff, they're doing a sort of weird version of motion tracking where they track facial movements by using multiple cameras to map the face and everything and all the movements, but then they can reapply that and use that to animate a separate model. LA Noire, they're taking the video and then they're doing something called sticky mapping, and they're mapping it straight onto a mesh that's just kind of a generic face shape that matches the actor's face shape. And then they move and basically play the video on that mesh. But it's a video that maps around their head so that it looks like a moving, breathing human. And so it's just a little different. It's a little different, but it's probably using the same basic technique, you know? Forum. This is with regards to the guy that's behind Kingdom Come Deliverance, worked on the original Mafia, all those games. Like he worked on all of those. And that's a very unique design philosophy. Do you feel the same for realism in Red Dead 2? Yeah, I mean, I would say Red Dead 2 is a good example of a game that balances realism with practicality and gameplay design. Like they don't have your rifle randomly, like right as you line up the perfect shot and then the gun just doesn't work. They don't do that because that would be more frustrating than it would be worth for the payoff of it being realistic. They let you, like, they make you clean your guns. They get dirty over time. You have to maintain them, otherwise the damage output is reduced and all of that. But I think doing stuff with like your guns randomly breaking, or like you get knocked off your horse into water and then all of a sudden the gun that you had that's like you spent $200 in the game is just broken and you have to take it in and spend $50 to get it repaired. I think that would be more frustrating to modern gamers than it would be cool. And if there's like a hardcore mode where you can enable that and like volunteer and choose to get into that, I think there are people who would enjoy that. But I think the vast majority of players would find that more frustrating than fun. last chapter of LA Noire ruined the whole game for me. I wouldn't say, I mean, ruined the whole game. I would say that it probably like that. I can't talk. I swear to God, that's pretty dramatic. But I would feel for you if that's what it did, because that does suck. But I would say, like, for me, it definitely hits hard, and I was not like, I didn't love how they ended the game, but you know, I got it. Like, I understood why they chose to end it that way. Twitch is rather stinky at the moment, for real, dude. Do you think the so-called realistic games age well? It depends. It depends. Like, Far Cry 2 is great and has a lot of realistic elements, but I think the average consumer in the modern audience and the modern consumer probably would find it a little too aggressive with those systems. But the niche that it appeals to loves it. So, Benno, Luke was wondering where you had been on Twitch. Yeah, we were trying YouTube. People seem to be enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's working pretty well. I just feel a sudden plot twist in the ending rush very abruptly felt wrong to me. I will say the pacing gets really weird at the end. I will say that. It does feel like, okay, we're steadily, my career is gone, and then, oh no, it's, you know, political intrigue, I get demoted, and then I start to build back up, and it does feel like just out of nowhere they try to end it and resolve it. It's Babe and Baby. Hi, dude. It is spicy. Now you know my struggle. I know my struggle. It's like, I think it's probably hotter than that. Hey, dude. Hi. It's good to see you. Hi. How you doing? Having a good day?
Huh?
Hi. Oh, yeah. But you slept so well. Ish. Hi. You see yourself in the video? You see yourself in the video?
I only say Dad upstairs. He's tired of me.
Dada.
He only took
Buddy. Well, how you doing? You feeling good? Meow.
We might trade.
I'll probably wrap up in the next few minutes. It's just hot. I gotta let the AC unit run. It's like 80 degrees in here. It's just, ugh. Babe and Baby. I gotta go now. Have a great day. Thandali, thanks for coming by, my friend. Nah. Still voting to bring back the Mohawk. Yeah, we gotta do that. Today, who's feeling dapper? You want to be dapper?
What you want?
Mama.
Okay. Please don't pants me.
Just watched your video on LA Noire. Figured I'd hop in and say hi. Well, Porky, good timing, my friend. Because I think we're probably about at the point. Like I said, it's just stupid hot in here. And the also, like, I've been watching the numbers and the Manor Lords. Like, I enjoyed it. I'll probably try it some more, but it's not like the audience doesn't seem super interested in it. We had a lot of people hop off when we started doing that. And then Grounded also, people started hopping off. So we'll try. I think we'll try like Fear maybe Wednesday, or we said Doki Doki Literature Club. We'll try that Wednesday, and we'll blast through that. I'll see you in a little bit, just a few minutes, okay? Bye. So Wednesday we'll play some Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't know if we'll finish it. It just depends on how long it is. So we'll blast through that, and then Friday we're gonna start Dead Space and rock and roll like that. Black or White may switch from YouTube, Twitch to YouTube, and when you gave me a VIP and a gifted sub, never like it. Yeah, I'm sorry, my friend. It's just like I was gonna say, I was like, if it's like 50-50, people kind of like YouTube, but also half the audience also likes Twitch. It's like, okay, I'll deal with it, and we'll go to Twitch and we'll just roll with it. But like 95% of people, including the people that were over on Twitch, said, we kind of like YouTube more. So it just seems more lined up that we should stick to YouTube. Plus, I think the vision for this makes a little more sense, because the vision for YouTube and streaming over here is that we have the live streams, And we also have these videos and stream highlights and clips that go up regularly on this channel. So when you hop off the stream, you can hop over, watch some stream clips, and then you can pop over there and you can pause the stream if you got to do something. You can come back, watch it later if you want. And then for me, just on the process of working on these videos, I don't have to have this stuff backed up to my local NAS and server that's right down there. See that? That's my NAS with like 48 terabytes of storage. I don't have to have that stuff backed up there because now, like, just the little bit of Grounded we played today, now that's backed up on YouTube. So if we ever need that footage, I can just come in here and download it there. Boom. Problem solved, you know? You posted a lot of highlights the past few days. Yeah, like I said, we probably are going to be averaging between 2 and 3 every day. That's how much stuff we're going to be putting up here. And sometimes they're 2 minutes long. Sometimes they're 30 minutes long. You know, it just depends. And sometimes, you know, it'll be a whole 45 minutes of we tried this demo. Sometimes it'll be 2 hours of us trying a new game. All sorts of stuff. So we'll try it. The Twitch VOD policy is pretty dumb. It is. It is. Marco, I honestly like YouTube more. It's more convenient. And that's what I've heard from a lot of people. That's what I've heard from a lot of people. Were you the one that gets the Cyberpunk frame rate right and got VIP? Yeah, you remember that? So I'm not sure how YouTube works. Can I? No, I can't. So like this is one of the frustrations. It's I can't award like stuff like badges and stuff like that to you. They don't have VIP right now. I just checked. They don't have that on YouTube now. They also limit like what we can do with all sorts of different little things. So we're just kind of limited in what we can do. But hopefully they add that relatively soon, and then YouTube will just be like the domineering force, and it'll be like, oh yeah, no, YouTube's just clearly the better option. I just realized I'm slouching so much. I was sitting like this. I was like, wow, there's a lot of empty space above my head. Did I really align the camera this high up? Why did I do that? And then I sat up and I was like, oh, I'm just a lazy piece of crap. Just slouching. Oh, posture. Posture. Be a good person. Posture. Okay, lock it. Okay, I sit up like an adult man. There we go. I'm sure with the way things are going, YouTube will implement more chat features soon. It's got to be high on their priority list, especially as they got to be bracing to have a lot of these big streamers come over. It's gotta. I mean, surely. Surely. When are you outing or putting the new startup on the wall? See that? See that right there? Right behind me? Done. Done. Hiding in plain sight. Yeah, they're seriously putting Twitch on the ropes. Yeah, for real. Yeah, you're not a true gamer unless you have self-inflicted scoliosis from poor posture. Dude, it's so bad. I've been thinking, so like I get compliments on this chair all the time. I love the chair. It's very nice. Assassin's Creed, represent. You know, it's very nice. I love the chair. I do have a bad back, and I have historically had issues with posture. I have been considering getting like an actual ergonomic chair. Not as like a diss to Secret Lab. I love the chair, like I said. But I think because I'm sitting in it so freaking much, I would actually benefit from like a real high quality chair meant for people who sit in chairs all day. Because this is like nice for quick gaming sessions. I don't think you're supposed to be sitting in a chair like this for 8 hours a day. 8 to 10 hours a day. Yeah, I was looking at the Herman Miller. There's the two that they recommend. Herman Miller. It's the Logitech Embody, and then their what is it called? Aeron? I think is what it's called. It's like this. So ergonomic office chairs, gaming chairs. This is one all the streamers use. They seem to really like it. And then office bundles. I don't need that. Best chairs. I think this one is the one that like they got Obama to endorse. Like this is the one Barack Obama uses. And it's apparently like it looks very non-discreet. Or very discreet, not non-discreet, the opposite of that. It looks very discreet. It doesn't look very eye-catching, but apparently it is just like the gold standard of chairs. Like this is what they use in presidential debates. This is what they use, like wealthy people use in their offices. My old boss had one of these chairs, loved it. So it could be good. These are the Embody chairs. You can get it for less than this. If you get it without the Logitech logo, it's like $1,500, just for the record. Like, yeah, you just have to look for it. But this is the one that like Tfue uses. Can I go here? He's probably live now. Yeah, you see the top stuff on all of Twitch is like hot tub streamers. That like this
RPG
is
genre. Let's take a look.
How did they not fix their audio? Like this is the top recommended stuff. See Nadia at 5K viewers. Like guys, come on. Come on. I just want to stop talking about her. And so I'm gonna. But this is like, you notice he's using, you don't really see his chair, but it's because his Embody chair comes up, like it comes up just below your shoulders, like right below your shoulders. So you wouldn't actually see the chair really in the frame, which actually might be a nice thing because a lot of extra space gets cut off by this. So that could actually be beneficial. But like this guy sits at his desk all day long playing Fortnite and different games, and he only uses the Embody stuff. Yeah, hot tub's really a category. It's like one of the more popular categories. It's crazy. Don't fall into that black hole. Oh yeah, no, I'm steering clear. Just go watch porn like a normal person. I've said it before. I don't get it. Like there are dedicated sites for like softcore, hard, whatever you want to watch. Why are you watching like random hot tub streamers like on Twitch? I don't get it. I just don't get, like, does it make you feel better? Like you're not actually watching what's basically just softcore, like scantily clad porn. Like basically what you're doing. We all know why you're watching it. We all know. I just don't understand it. It's like XQC. I just don't understand XQC's popularity because I'm like, I don't see why you would watch XQC play games or gamble or do, like, I just don't find him entertaining. I find him like frustrating to watch. Like probably more annoying than anything. And I'm sure people say the same thing about me, but still, like, I'm explaining how I feel. I'm just expressing my opinions. But okay. I will call it there. Like I said, it's like 80 degrees in here. It's boiling. So I'm going to call it there. We're going to relax. We'll be back Wednesday. We have a new video going up Wednesday as well. And then we will be playing a pretty disturbing Halloween themed game. It's not really themed around Halloween, but it's just a disturbing game that we'll play for Halloween. So we'll do that. So I love you all very, very much. I will see you Wednesday. Make sure to go watch the new video that just went up on LA Noire. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell here. All of that good stuff. Much love. I will see you on Wednesday. Hugs and kisses. Stay safe, everybody. See you soon.